Thank you guys for joining in another Freestyle Friday session with your host, DivineProspect. We're going to go in today, or tonight more specifically. So before we start, I'm going to get a couple of things set up. And I'm going to ahead and play some music off of the KHM, The Truth Works Volume 2 mixtape. Okay, that will be done next week. All right, that'll be done officially. It'll be available for y'all to cop. If y'all are interested, it's a donation of $10 to the ministry, and we will release access to you. All right, so check out a couple of tracks on there while I get a couple of things set up. All right, I see the family. Everybody's here in the chat. What's going on, family? Get a couple of shout outs real quick before we get started. Shout out to King Lion, Quincy White, Moriel Fall, Kendrick Black, Derek Mabson, Michael Van Nett, Kiefer Aviel, Ben Israel, Jetson Silencio, Enlightenment League, The Souls of Our Ancestors, Sister Lynette, Consuelo F, Apostle TK, Noella Ya, Judah Talk Productions, Roan Issa, Joseph Donald, Taki Cochran, East Coast King, Yapa Kalaya, Kimberly M, Jerusalem Shiloh, Bo's channel in the building. What's going on? My brother Dimitri Elder. All right, so I see the family is out. Make sure y'all share this link. Hit that thumbs up button, family. We're going to go in. All right, shout out to Ahabala, MOHA. What's going on? What's going on? All right. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of tracks off this mixtape. Again, if you guys want access, it's a donation of $10 or more. You can email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. If you want to get your copy, all right, if you want to get your access link, and we're about to get started. All right, so let me go ahead and play this. And while this is playing, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple things. All right, so here's one of the first tracks. And let me swipe this around for y'all and let you hear it. All right.
For us to awake up, no more time to waste. We gotta work while it's still day. Night is coming soon, no lie. So let me be the first to say that I've been sitting down now for so long, watching the days and the years go by. Took me a while before I realized I'm wasting so much time. Yeah, I'm redeeming the day. You wait until tomorrow. I see them come and go. So many travelers on this road, but will it end? No one knows. No one knows. I'm redeeming the day. You wait until tomorrow. No. Oh no. As I sit and ponder, my mind begins to wonder. Will I live my dream, or will I wake and be asleep? I know the time is now, that's why I will be the first to say that I've been sitting down now for so long, watching the days and the years go by. Took me a while before I realized I'm wasting so much time. Yeah, I'm redeeming the day. You wait until tomorrow. I see them coming.
Heels, dress, hair, makeup. She don't need none of that. She fine when she wake up. Conversation with the Lord, so she prayed up. She only grinders in her mind to get her cake up. She independent and she don't need no help. She can make it on her own feet. She loves self, so she never feeling lonely. Don't need a man, but somehow she still want me. The realest girl, had to snatch you out the game, put you in prison, girl. Welcome to my love, lockdown, lockdown. In this hate we can't break down. Trapped in my love lockdown. Welcome to my love lockdown. Can't escape, but you can't break out. I'm gone nowhere in how. Got you trapped in my love lockdown. I can't do what you mean. That thing fat, hot, sit off in the jet. They be on it cause they want her, but she curving like a picture knife, and she know she better off with me. So she know I'm gon' provide and get her everything she need. She know I'm by her side and she can always count on me. She know I hold it down and she gon' hold it down for me. I'm her protection, I'm her weapon, keep her safe by enemy. Like every king got a castle, every castle got a queen. Gucci bag, she got class straight up out the magazine. Any day, anywhere, finest thing I ever seen. Tell my man, made it classic, came to short off of me. When I put her on this G to my love, down, escape, can't, out, no way, out, trapped in my love, my love locked down, penetrate, you can't break out, no way, no how, got you trapped in my love locked down, trapped in my love locked down, she need a nap with my love locked down. Into the light, gather the boys in the gun. Heroes at night, it's time to take over the farm. I don't put nothing above you. I need your help in the dark. I'm sure it's fine. Jacob's a trouble. Can't breathe, smell demons. Wars coming, can't tell seasons. Tears falling on the trail, leaving. Ears by the stairwell, singing. Reasons to live in the light, to give it my all, not giving the hype. Had dreams of the kingdom from within the walls. I pictured them tall, envisioned the height that reach from the earth to the heaven. Loving the curses of blessing. Gather around churches and session. Time to do work, it's worth it. This ain't a lyrical versus confession. Nah, but what is the purpose of hurting without on the lessons? I was trying till I learned to cherish the gifts that you give us, just live in the present. I'ma trust you, lead. Your judgment is just, we need the faith of a mustard seed, and that's all I got. Now I just gotta turn mountains to rocks, but time's running out, I've been counting the top, so send us an angel to gather your flock. I'm down the road, that's a fact, I ain't turning my back, I'ma die for my ox. Yeah, start from the bottom, was dropped here. A lot of us died and was not spared. The burning survive all the shots, spears. Now get to the top, but don't stop there. I wasn't killing my ops, I was killing myself, dealing running blue tops. There, pain had a hold of me, possible my soul was in shock and my vision was not clear, but now, it's going down. Before the final trumpet sounds, I pray to the Lord, accept every song that I write and record. I felt it was hell and my life was detour, but I learned
Either you win or you out. You can't have it both ways. The time of decision is now. You might not live to see tomorrow. You can't blame your life away. You play a risky game, you're Russian roulette. You don't care what the Bible says. You do everything your way. Either you win or you out. You can't have it both ways. The time of decision is now. Might not live to see tomorrow. It's plain to see when you're down and out how tough life can be. You do all you can, but it seems like hope is gone. But you ain't trying to play safe, even though you know a better way. You holding back from something in your past. On your face you wear a mask. You carry idols on your dash. You make excuses for your actions. You secretly try to play both sides. You got a stormy heart. It'll make you fall apart. But you say you sad. Either you win or you out. You can't have it both ways. The time of decision is now. You might not live to see tomorrow. You can't blame your life away.
But they want us to kill ourselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves. Who is it that's dying out here on these streets every night? Y'all. Young brothers like yourselves. What am I supposed to do? Fool roll up, try to smoke me? Shit, up for them. If you don't kill me first, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You have to think, young brother, about your future.
Hey, young black man, it's hard on us just to be a man. You see the agenda, they pushing up on our people, trying to make us feminine. Yeah, they get in the head of some of our women. I need a black man, make them independent. But I need a black queen, you need a black king. If not the ones gonna be hurt, it's the children. It seems like the whole was against us, like they wanna see us behind the fences. Talk more things that are good as quicker. Drugs and violence that paint us like a menace. Yeah, I know it sounds stupid, but you a white man can do the same crime. You'll get the longest sentence. You already born with one strike against you. So with the house man, you gotta move different. Yeah, hey young black man, it's more on us just to be a man. But one thing that you gotta understand, be a real one, no matter circumstance. Well, what's right, I will take a stand. While let your fist raise your right hand. Hey, and be all you can. Yeah, and stay in God's plan. Young black man, 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 be all you can. Young black man, 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 stay in God's plan.
You and I have been dehumanized, we got no status. We just get brutalized, treated the worst, under a curse. Thought about murder, thought about suicide, talking to ya, hit to the sky. We just need you to guide, we do what you decide. I met my brother, I met my sister, telling them we become stronger when unified. We gotta stand up and fight for our own. We gotta place ourselves back on the throne. We gotta teach the youngest what is right. Everything they see in this what is wrong. I'm sending a message, my sister, you precious, my brother, you wealthy. It's really your essence. Just wanna live life, just wanna find peace. I done been too close to death and depression. Like, oh yeah, my yeah, deliver us out of this fire. So die, my yeah, lift me up, take me up higher. I make a vow today, walk in your path and bow down to no man. Now that I know what, now that I know how, I vow to stay in your plan. Young black, hey, young brother of color, two different mothers, but we're of the same skin. And they crucify us, we all messiahs, and we all guilty of the same sin. They pulling us over for DWB. It's dropping while black please don't move in your vehicle. They pull a toaster, you praying, the heat miss you camera go off. As soon as that heat hit you, tell me what's the issue. They brought us here and act like we owe them something. Man, is you tripping? Children and women keep coming to miss it. Keep your head on the swivel, pay attention. Everybody against us. Nobody loves us, nobody cares. They pay more attention to homosexuals and make sure the animals get treated fair. But guess what? We rely on the Most High. What the Torah, everything will be gravy. And we gotta have each other back, show love to our brothers and our ladies.
It's getting serious on this track, fam.
We was never slaves. We the only people here that fit the name. Yeah. Nation full of kings, we was never slaves. Yeah. I prefer the kingdom over everything. Yeah. They hiding the truth and we gon' set them straight. Yeah. They know our higher, we gon' let them pray. Yeah. The guy you talking about should be here any day. Yeah. And he won't match these pictures you put in his place. Yeah. We the only people here that fit the name. Yeah. A nation full of kings, we was never slaves. I am a king, would you believe it? All I'm missing is the kingdom. Really rocking on the heathens. I had a falling out with the demons. I had to pick my crown up and clean it. I was a mess. I got an ex. She talk about me cause I'm in the Bible. She looking right. I'm looking blessed. I take a step into righteousness. I felt the spirit with writing this. They wanna change, I was fighting it. Learning the word with a pint of lick. I'm with the gang, they looking strange. I'm full of hot. I'm on a plane. They telling lies like they really pray to the Most High. They don't know his name. I want the kingdom, I don't want the fame. Done with the gangs, I broke the controller. Media all in our brains, Satan is saying he trying to control us. God don't need a weak-minded man with him, no, he need a soldier. People still trying to build a future in America, knowing it's over. We all the lost people. The lost people, yeah, the Bible say that we are God's people, and we gotta get back to the lost people. Stop thinking we are all equal. He ain't get a loss to all people. Listen, we are set apart people that he put above all people. The rulers of the kingdom know that it's all people. We are blessed. Nation full of kings, we was never slaves. Yeah. I prefer the kingdom over everything. Yeah. They hiding the truth and we gon' set them straight. Yeah. They know our higher, we gon' let them pray. Yeah. The guy you talking about should be here any day. Yeah. And he won't match these pictures you put in his place. Yeah. We the only people here that fit the name. Yeah, a nation full of kings. I ain't never slain a king. Would you believe it? We only call it how we see it though. All them hidden books I've been reading close. It's a lot of secrets and the people know. They revere the knowledge I gained. Witness a product of faith. All these losses finally gained. Coming up out of them chains. That was the enemy. We were supposed to be kings. Not lacking for anything. Turning away is what got us enslaved. And even these days they shackle you mentally. And even though we the special ones, we curse the servers, reject the ones. This is not a war about catching slugs. Do not wrestle with flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness. Most of our people are lost, unaware who they visited. All in higher places through a higher graces. You're currently miracle witness, and we are the lost people. Lost like literally, physically, spiritual, mentally. Knowing the wrong people say we all equal unless we compare to the enemy. We know the game, nothing has changed. They tried to tell us we're nothing but slaves. They tried to profit up off of our blood. The blood of the prophets is one and the same. Under the name we reign, we really stars. It's made for us and it's really ours. We turn our back on the laws, come back to the laws, find out who we really are. We are blessed. Nation full of kings, we was never slaves. Yeah, I prefer the kingdom over everything. Yeah, they hiding the truth and we gon' set them straight. Yeah, claim they know our higher, we gon' let them pray. Yeah, the guy you talking about should be here any day. Yeah, and he won't match these pictures you put in his place. Yeah, we the only people here that fit the name. Yeah, a nation full of kings, we was never slaves. Yeah.
Done dizzle. All right, back in action, man. I had to set it off with some music from that up and coming mixtape. You crazy, Noelle? I don't know about that, but anyway. I'm glad you liked it, man. I just played a couple of tracks off of it. We're gonna have about 16 tracks on it. I played about 5 for y'all. Hope you'll enjoy it. Those of you who's part of our Patreon, you got to preview some of it. And I played a couple here so you guys can check in on it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you guys are interested in getting access to the mixtape, email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. One of my mods or admins can throw it in the chat. Again, we got 16 bangers on there, man. It's fire. Now, if anybody out there, if you're an artist, man, truth artist, man, Israelite artist, and you want to get in the last minute, because again, we're wrapping this thing up. All right, we're wrapping this thing up. Email us, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. If you or somebody you know is an artist and you want to get on this mixtape, another fire mixtape, man. Volume 1 is still fire. I think that is the de facto standard right there. You feel what I'm saying? And Volume 2 is like right here with Volume 1, like, because Volume 1 is a classic. You feel me? Those of you who have heard it, it's a classic. Volume 2, we're gonna put the full sampler, which is gonna give you about 35 seconds of each song. We're gonna set it up as a video like we did with Volume 1, so that way you can get a feel of what each one is about before you invest in the ministry by giving us a donation so we can release access. So again, we can put it in a pot for needs that we have in the community. All right. So again, man, it's just, man, you gotta listen to the entire joint. I mean, that whole thing from the Kingdom Harbinger Ministries intro to the last track that we got on there, it's fire. It's fire. And I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. All right. So I want to start off with that. Let me go ahead and give honor where honors due to more of the family jumping in the chat. I got one of my artists right there, Yesha Moore. He's in the chat. He did one of these songs. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. I'm not going to give you no information about these tracks, man. I just want you to hear the fire. If you're interested, just email us, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com, and we'll set you up. All right. All right, so let me give a shout out. Shout out to my brother Yahukanan for the donation. I greatly appreciate that, my brother. And shout out to brother Mendez for the donation. I appreciate that. All right. Shout out to my brother James, aka Get Wise, in the building. Sheikah Johnson, what's going on? Noelle Yah. Millie Love, what's going on? Says Coach Von Parker in the building. One Love, Catriel Ben Yisrael, Sister V Love, G Brown, Black Av in the building. All right. Howard Seraphine up in here. All right. Chief Might, what's going on? Let's see who else. Chemo Ben Yisrael, Stacks 2296. What's going on? What's going on, family? Seth M, my brother in the building. What's going on? The large one, Goat Center, Ara, Dar Yawesh, Yashakakar. What's going on? Lawrence Smith, my brother Raphael Hakeem Bay say I want to be divine like Ron. Okay, we'll revisit that. That's my brother. Tile, I-95 in the building, 916 Shan, Herbert Thornton. What's going on, family? So y'all in the building, man. We about to get turned up tonight. All right. As you know, before we get into the informal, organic portion of this show or this broadcast, we got to deal with the formal things. So I'm going to go ahead and address a couple things real quick, put some things out there, and we'll get into the show. Open panel. Y'all know what it is, Q&A. Let's get busy, man. But before I start, let me just say this. The brother that you guys seen on the last live stream that was supposed to have this debate with me in regards to ancient Kemet and Hyksos, he canceled. That's why you guys didn't see a follow-up. So I apologize for that, family. I know some of y'all were really interested in that. Shout out to my brother Kyle Camaras in the building. What's going on? What's going on? ABC 1908, cool story, bro. What's going on? What's going on? So that's why you guys didn't see a follow-up to that, because he said, hey, I went back over the stuff you were saying and I realized that you had a point. I thought that was funny, man. I was asking a brother if he's ready for this, and that was just me shadow boxing, right? That's like you going into the gym, you know what I'm saying, and you calling out, you know what I'm saying, one of the prize fighters in the gym, and you ain't even spar with him, like you just watching him shadow box. You're like, oh shoot, I don't know if I want that, like to even spar. Like we didn't even spar. He was having technical difficulties on that. And I'm gonna say this is a good brother. You know what I'm saying? He's a good brother. I mean, he means well. You know what I'm saying? He's a good brother. So again, I don't take no personal shots. You know what I'm saying? But he just wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a lot, and I understood it was a lot. And I'm just saying to y'all, I apologize for not doing a follow-up show. All right. So some of y'all are probably interested. I know in here. I know I had some people hit me up on social media asking me what's up. So officially, that's what's going on. So that's not happening. Now, he wants to come back on the show just to kind of chat, freestyle, or whatever. That's cool. And that's a brother Kanoum. And then the brother Kansu wants to get back on here. That's the other Nawabian brother, light-skinned dude, that was on here that was supposed to be assisting Kanoum. And Kanoum's elder. I don't even know where they at right now. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Donnell Jones in the building. So they skeeted up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so let's get to the formality, man. You know how we do. So again, I just previewed the KHM mixtape. Those are a couple of tracks of the KHM mixtape. And if you guys are interested, email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Also, so you guys can know, KHM Music Group, KHMMG, will be launching soon. All right, stay on the lookout for that. We're going to grab some artists. We're going to put money behind these artists, you know what I'm saying, for studio time, for promotions, for shows and all of that. So you guys stay tuned to KHMMG. We'll be launching real soon. Stay tuned to the flyers and we put them up, and we're going to do the KHM Music Group, okay? And we got one artist in particular, fire artist, man. I played one of his songs, man. But anyway, we got one of the artists that we're gonna sponsor first with the KHM Music Group when we launch it. We're gonna put some money behind him and get him in the studio, get some tracks laid down, do a couple of video shoots, a couple of photo shoots as well, do some promotions, and start doing a tour, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna really pushing this thing, man. Really try to do something that is viable for the community, and try to tackle all different angles as much as we can, man. Shout out to my brother Kyle Camaras for the donation. I appreciate that, my brother. All right, so y'all stay tuned for KHMMG coming soon, man. We don't play, man. We're gonna put money behind real music, man, and we hope you guys enjoy it. Okay. So I wanted to put that out there just so you guys can know. Now, in regards to me, some people say, yo, Divine, you're going to get in the studio, whatever. We'll see what happens, man. I don't want to spoil nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want to spoil nothing. So just, y'all just stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Okay. So, moving on for there. I want to thank the family that has donated to the GoFundMe. Everybody who's donated to the GoFundMe, I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and show it to you guys. We're reaching close to a milestone with this. Okay. And again, I appreciate everybody that's been donating. Let me go ahead and throw it up on the screen real quick so you guys can see where we're at in regards to this. Okay. So we are right here. All right. So here we are right here. We at $9,955 raised out of $20,000. Again, shout out to everybody that has donated. We truly appreciate it. If anybody wants to assist or help in regards to, what's currently going on with the coronavirus and, certain families that are still waiting. I know some people just recently got their checks in the mail. Some people got their checks. I think a lot of people already got their direct deposits. And it's still not being able to sustain a lot of people, man. A lot of people are still struggling to get by. And they need help. So as KHM, as an organization, we decided to start this GoFundMe so that we can help the community. Again, if you guys look in the description down below, you will go ahead and see a link for the GoFundMe. I'm gonna go ahead and also I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you guys right here. All right, so the link is there. Thank you, sis Noelia. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to donate. And also, if anybody here needs any kind of financial assistance, email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. All right. I know one of my admins, mods, are going to drop the email in the chat. So if you need assistance, you can reach out to us anonymously or contacting us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. And that way we can go ahead and hook you up if you need financial assistance. Again, we do some screening. Just want to make sure that this is serious. You feel what I'm saying? And nobody is really trying to take advantage of us. Again, like I told y'all, we had several situations where people try to take advantage. You feel what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because there's really people that have needs, but we've been able to help up to 40 people already. You know what I'm saying? So thank you to everybody who's donated already. We're doing as much as we can to help out the community. And I appreciate you guys for your sacrifice. All right. All right. So with that being said, as we're moving forward, I want to show you guys our gift card that we have here. All right, we have our Amazon gift card. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how much it is. It ranges anywhere from $25 to $500. Okay, I'm going to continue to do this mystery Amazon gift card. And I want to give this out to y'all. Okay, we're going to start doing the gift cards again. Remember, we was doing them like back to back. We're going to get back on our gift card giveaway game. All right, to make sure everybody's here and we're rewarding people that are tuning in, that are supporting this ministry. So, hey, everybody can use an Amazon gift card, you know what I'm saying, to order whatever you need. I mean, when we talk about books and stuff on here, here's an opportunity for you to purchase them. And in order to get this, the challenge that we're going to do, since, again, we're trying to build up the Patreon, right? We're trying to do the Patreon because we've added a ton of new stuff on here. Again, like you see, we got books and all types of other stuff on there. And this is what keeps the ministry going. Okay. And we appreciate everybody that has given already. All right. So you can go to www.patreon.com/DivineProspect, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. And right now, from what we can see, we had 123 patrons right now. If we can get 2 more patrons by the end of this broadcast, I'm going to give away this Amazon gift card to somebody that's tuning in. All right. I'm going to say something, get y'all involved, and somebody that's tuning in. So, family, if you want, again, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. If you're not part of the Patreon, all of our Patreon supporters, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we added early access to the mixtape, to what you guys heard. You get to preview some of the tracks, and you get to see the name of the songs and the artists. All right. We added new books, just like we do all the time. We have a book suggestion here, new book that's there, Recovering Jewish Christian Sects and Gospels. And then we have an article suggestion called Biblical Archaeology 101, Dating in the Archaeological World. I brought that article up before and discussed it with y'all, but y'all can get access to the article for free from signing up right there. And we got another interesting book called The Star of Bethlehem and the Magi. That's really interesting, understanding cosmology in the ancient Near East. And when you understand the backdrop of the cosmology of ancient Near East, then it's easier to interpret things that you read in the book of Matthew, right? In regards to that portion that I told you guys, from my perspective, is interpolation, right? Interpolation. In regards to the Magi seeking for this king of the Jews, right? So when you understand Zoroastrianism and it rubbing shoulders with Judaism during the Persian captivity, you'll understand a lot of information about that. But that book goes into detail about it. You can get access to that thing for free. I think that book's like $100 and something on Amazon. But when you sign up for the Patreon, you get access to all my book collections. I'm adding several books every week. I mean, you can't beat this anywhere, right? So again, if we get 2 people to sign up for our Patreon between now and the end of this broadcast, I'm giving this mystery Amazon gift card away to somebody on this broadcast tuning in right now. And again, this is what we like to do, give back to the community. Okay. Any way we do. Now, remember, we still have our milestone giveaway. So when we hit a particular milestone, 125, we get in there. We're going to give away $125 to one of our patrons on Patreon when we reach 125. So you guys can hasten that by signing up to Patreon today. And then, you know, we do our bill paid in full giveaways. And there's tons of other stuff. There's other items I'm gonna start giving away from the Patreon as well. So, I mean, we're doing what we can to give back to those who invest into us. You get your ROI immediately just for supporting us. And again, I appreciate everybody. Shout out to my brother Jamel Jones in the building, Mikhail Bena Yasharal in the building, Gather of Nations going on, my brother Sister E. What's up, sis? So Kayal, possibly. I addressed that on forgot what other platform I addressed it on, but yeah, just hit me up. Hit me up in the inbox and we can chat about that. All right. Kevin G, we've been giving away gift cards for a while, man. If you check back earlier this year and the last year, we've been giving out gift cards, right? Paying bills, giving away money, giving you access to free books and articles. I mean, free preview, exclusive content. I mean, we've been doing it all up. So if you go back to our sessions back in January and December, we've been doing giveaways, right? Gift card giveaways. We even did one on the Patreon as well, right? But this one here is for people tuning in right now. And if we get 2 more patrons on our Patreon, we're going to give this away to somebody right now. Again, anywhere from $25 to $500. Okay. I'm going to see if somebody can guess what the amount is on there when we get to that point. And if you get the right amount that is on here, then you win the card. Okay, but that's provided we get 2 more patrons between now and the end of this session. And again, once we hit that 2 patrons, we're giving away $125. Okay, somebody on our Patreon is going to win $125 once we get 2 more patrons by the end of this. So you means you're going to get a free gift card just for tuning in, and 2 people making a sacrifice to sign up for Patreon so that somebody here can win this gift card. And then once we hit 125, we're going to give away $125. On our Patreon. It's like you can't lose investing in this ministry, man. You can't lose. All right. Shout out to Knowledge Truth in the building. What's going on? So I mean, I don't see nobody else giving away stuff like this, but maybe it's just me. I mean, we want to be able, those people who invest in us, we want to be able to financially give back to you as well. On top of everything else that we do here. Right. So again, hey, it's up to you guys. If you guys want the giveaway, if you don't know about the Patreon, go on and check it out, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect, or you can share it with somebody that you know, friend, loved one, put it on your page, post it somewhere, right? Let's get 2 more patrons in here by the end of this session. We're going to give away a gift card, and we're going to give away $125. All right? Can't beat that. All right? You can't beat that. All right? All right. So with that being said, family, again, we're still, trying to navigate through this coronavirus pandemic, right? This COVID-19 situation that's going on. And we like to promote people in our community that are doing things in regards to helping, first responders or people that have to go out and shop and things of that nature. So, we're still offering the Flatten the Curve face mask. All right. Flatten the Curve face mask. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen right here so that you guys can check it out. And if anybody's interested in patronizing businesses, Black businesses, Israelite businesses in our community, here's an opportunity for you to do so. All right, Life Out Loud Boutique and Accessories. Still have the Contour Fit Flatten the Curve face mask. Again, we have the pockets in there for the filters. And our filters can also be essential oils infused. Okay. But again, we have it here. So those of you going out there, you know, wear the mask proudly that you're supporting the Black business. And that also you're getting something unique with the essential oil infused filters that could definitely add additional antimicrobial protection against viruses and bacteria while you're out in these streets doing what you got to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link there in the chat. So if you guys want, go ahead and patronize our businesses in our community. Is right there. All right. So Brother Mendez, the email is kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Sister Noelia, she can drop it back in there for you. Yep, she did it. See, she's already on it. All right. So that's that. If you guys want to support that, also remember, since some of you guys are still at a stay-at-home order, we're gonna go over a little bit of this in a second. But there's some people that's still in a stay-at-home order. So if you're still in a stay-at-home order, you got to be able to patronize more of our businesses in our community. To me, go ahead and show this. I've been talking to you guys about this for the longest. This is the Truth of Yah Volume 1 board game. Okay. So again, family, you guys want to support this. This is a board game I showed you guys here on in real life. Okay. The board game, I have it still right here. So you guys can check it out. This is it right here. Truth of Yah Volume 1, Renew Minds, Save Lives. This is an awesome board game created by somebody in our community. This is not created by any of those board game makers that's out there. It's created by us. It's sold directly by us. And if you're still indoors, family, you need to purchase it. Those of you who have already purchased it, I appreciate y'all. DPROSPECT is the referral code, capital D. PROSPECT, DPROSPECT. All right. So throw that in there when you go to purchase it. I'll drop the link in the description. Well, it's already in the description, but I'll put it in the chat so you guys can go ahead and patronize another business in our community. There's no way that you guys can miss up on that. No way. No way. All right. So I appreciate you guys that's in there already. Those who already supported it. Can you name the essential oils? Well, Sister V Love, there's several essential oils that we are adding to it. If you're interested in that, then you could just email, right? Shoot an email. I'll give you those details if you need that information before making your purchase. But just email and we go ahead and take care of that. All right. Shout out to Knowledge Truth, KHM Hawaii in the building. He says, we are doing good in Hawaii, keeping our numbers low. We just started opening up more businesses. I am business owner as well. We wear masks and sanitize often. All right. So out here in Atlanta, you know, they're opening this state up crazy. Right. But we're going to get into that in a second. We're going to get into that in a second. I want to go over an article with y'all in a second. I just want to give a shout out for that. All right. So on top of that, all right. Shout out to my brother Hebrew Lawaya in the building. What's going on? What I want to bring up is also so you guys know, we are having our affiliates and consultants onboarding video conference. All right. We had it scheduled for this Sunday, but the flyers are not fully baked yet. I have a brother working on the flyers. So once the flyers are done, I'm going to give you guys at least a week. And pretty much what this is, as you guys know, we have Jubilee Manumission, which is our credit repair, debt elimination service. And then we have our Naturopathic Eden, which is our naturopathic health consultation service or health education service, however you want to coin it. And we have an affiliate and we have a consulted program. Okay. So pretty much what this is, if you want to be an affiliate or if you want to join a referral program, pretty much what you do, you get the word out along with your referral code. And that's how you become affiliate with us. We give you one and we sign you up. We give you $10 up front just for signing up with us. $10 to start, right? $10 to start just to go and disseminate your code everywhere. When we bring those people in, we give them free assessment and free consultation based on the donations that we're getting. We offer this for free. And then some people from there, they want to get our paid services. So when we get them to the paid services, you get 25% just for referring them to us. If you want to join our consultant program, then not only will you do the assessment and consultation, you get them to the paid services, you get 50% commission. And just for signing up for the consultant program, we give you $20 up front. We pay you $20 up front just for partnering with us and working with us. I don't see nobody doing that anywhere. Ain't nobody going to pay you to start working with them. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what we're doing. So once the flyers are fully baked, I'm going to advertise it on all social media. I'll announce it on here. And then we're shooting for next Sunday, not this upcoming Sunday, but next Sunday. We're shooting to do our onboarding video conference. So everybody that's interested, email us. All right. Email us at jubileemayoumission@gmail.com if you want to sign up for the credit repair or debt elimination video conference, which is going to be separate from the Natural Path to Eden conference. So Natural Path to Eden at gmail.com for the naturopathic health education program, or you get the Jubilee May You Mission at gmail.com, which is the credit repair debt elimination program. These are two essential services that everybody can use. I don't care who you are, where you live, anywhere in the world, everybody can use these services, and it's created out of our culture, right? Jubilee, Man You Mission, Natural Path to Eden. These are programs that are created out of Israelite culture to be of service to the community. And it's not just confined to the Israelite community. Anybody can get these services if you want it. And we pull those resources in and we put it towards investing it into the groundwork that needs to be done in our community. All right. So if anybody's out there wants to make part-time income, supplemental income, full-time income, it's up to you. We're going to pay you to get started. All right. We're going to onboard you with our conference when we do our video conference. And if you want to join for either one of those programs, jubileemayoumission@gmail.com. If you want to sign up for be an affiliate or a consultant for our Jubilee May You Mission program, which is a credit repair debt elimination program, or Natural Path to Eden, Natural Path to Eden @gmail.com. If you want to sign up for our naturopathic health consultation education services, we pay you up front $10 for the affiliate program, $20 for consultant, and then you make 25% commission off of the affiliate and 50% commission off of the consultant. You can't beat that. And these are essential services, which means you will never run out of the amount of people who can use these services. You can always find somebody that needs these services. And that's what we focus in on here, is creating these essential services that everybody can use, everybody needs, and or know somebody that can use it or need it. So you will never run out of people who would be interested in these services. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I get that out there. Again, you can partner with us, get money up front, make commission, and have your little money on the side. All right. So with that being said, family, I wanted to get most of that out the way. So Brandon Henry, that's a great question. I actually addressed that several times on his platform. We did a lecture a long time ago in 2014 entitled, "Does the Bible Provide Insight on the Condition of Blacks in America?" Does the Bible provide insight on the condition of Blacks in America? Go back and watch that old school lecture. I would say about 75% of it I still hold true today. 25% needs some tweaking, or I've tweaked since then. But to answer that question, go back and check that lecture out and you'll be able to see it. Okay. So let me put the okay, that's the email for Natural Path to Eden @gmail.com. If you're interested. And again, family, you don't need any prior experience in any one of these areas. We will train you. Okay. We will train you. All right. So if you just have an interest in helping people out with credit repair, or if you need our services, mind you, we have these services as well. If you have some kind of health ailment and you need the service, or you have some jacked up credit, need the service, we're here to help you out. All right. Shout out to my brother in the building, Shalom. What's going on? Live. I'm surprised he's catching us live. I think this is past his bedtime. He normally wake up early. I'm the night owl. He's the early bird. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, so shout out to the family that's here. So let's move forward, family. So with this being said, let me address the two things that I have on the table. And then from here, my phone blowing up crazy. And then from here, we're going to move on to the open panel discussion, Q&A, and then we're going to peace out. So a lot of y'all know about the Ahmaud Arbery situation that happened out here in Georgia. And it's a really heartbreaking, heart-wrenching situation that occurred. For those of you who may be living under a rock and is not aware of it, okay, I'm going to read out the article for you guys real quick, and we're going to speak on that, all right? Shout out to Yawasop, Son of Light. What's going on? What's going on? All right. So we're going to address that because we got to speak about this, man. When we talk about community, this thing affects our community deeply because it took 2 months before any type of attempt at prosecution happened. 2 months. And the only reason why it happened because somebody leaked the video of what happened. And it was a public outcry. See, the thing about social media now and the internet, it changes the landscape of things. When people talk about, oh, there's some secret society, Illuminati, all the stuff they're talking about, you know what I'm saying, as controlling the world stuff, what you don't understand is that your voice is powerful. When you speak up for the oppressed, we're going to get into scripture. When you speak up for the oppressed, guess what? Yah hears that. He does. So the divine hears this and the divine has to act, but you have to speak up for it. And then not only speak up for it so some kind of justice can be done, but what are the preventive measures that you're putting in place to prevent these incidents from happening? I've been giving this blueprint out for a long time, and we're going to go over that in 1 second. All right. But let's go back and let's read this real quick. Let's read this real quick. All right. Let me go ahead and bring up the article real quick. You know, and an article that people trust. You know what I'm saying? You know, because remember I told you about the crap method of vetting sources or whatever. All right. So let me go ahead and bring this up for you guys so you guys can check it out real quick. So give me a second. Let me bring it up on the screen. All right. All right. So this is a CNN article. All right. It says what we know about Ahmaud Arbery's killing. All right. This was May 12th, 2020, which was 3 days ago. All right. After moving at a plodding pace for more than 2 months, the case of Ahmaud Arbery's killing has, from an investigative perspective, hit warp speed. Protesters were kept inside for weeks because of Georgia's coronavirus restrictions, and 2 prosecutors rescued themselves from the case, citing links to one of the Glenn County men now charged with murder, while a third asked to step down. There wasn't much movement in the 25-year-old slaying until Tuesday, when a video showing the fatal shooting in Satilla Shores surfaced on a Brunswick radio station's website. The case, which to observers had appeared stagnant, came alive. The third prosecutor in the case said that he would present evidence to a grand jury and asked the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to assist in the case. Within 48 hours, the GBI announced it had arrested Travis McMichael, 34, the man who shot Arbery, and his father, Greg McMichael, a former Glenn County police officer and prosecutorial investigator. All right, here it is, father and son. All right. Greg McMichael, 64, told the police that he and his son grabbed their guns and chased Arbery in their truck, believing he was responsible for burglaries in their neighborhood, according to a police incident report. When they confronted him, the father told police Arbery attacked Travis McMichael, who killed him as the two struggled for a shotgun. The report says CNN attempts to reach the McMichaels have been unsuccessful. Here's the latest. All right. Now, just so you guys know, in regards to this, when you watch the footage, you see clearly that they have already drove up in front of him before he got to where they were at. And the son was already out the car with his shotgun already drawn at Arbery. So what do you expect Ahmaud to do when he's coming around the side of the car and you point a gun at him, threatening him? What do you think is going to happen? Now, the interesting thing is the third individual that was there was a person who recorded it. Were they part of the chase? Were they just an innocent bystander? That's something else that is still on the table. But you can go to the CNN article and you can look at this. It says, where does this case stand? Pretty much where it stood last week, with a much louder call for justice, in addition to Arbery supporters who, since the easing of the COVID-19 lockdown, have staged demonstrations. Celebrities and politicians, including presidential candidate Joe Biden, LeBron James, LL Cool J, and Kim Kardashian West have joined the chorus. So now you get celebrities and politicians involved, which is interesting because every time an incident happens, you know what they do? Have some kind of slogan, some kind of tagline. I run with Ahmaud. Okay, so you go get justice for this situation. Now, what about the future? How do you prevent this from happening again? How? That is the question. Once this thing blows over and maybe another 3 months, nobody's going to be talking about this no more. It's going to be something else going on. Then what? Then what? When other black brothers got shot down and I was at these rallies, I wasn't there to say, hey, we go to marching. I was there to say, yo, when these cameras are off, what's the next step? What y'all doing to prevent this from happening again? What's the game plan? And I was talking to the people out there, and you would think the politicians would be asking that questions. They was only there for the clout. I seen it live in Baltimore. I seen it out in New York. I seen it 3 different places that I went to go protest live. Out here in Atlanta. Seen it happen. So my thing is, what do you do next? Some people say, oh, this is the judges of the Most High. Yeah, you say it's the judgments until your son gets shot, until you get shot. And then what? Were you being judged by the Most High? So you got to take the dogma out of this, man. When you don't have an end game, these things are going to continue to happen. And then you're going to sit here and throw everything up to the Most High. The Most High is coordinating things, but your involvement is necessary. Hence the scriptures that we're about to read. So this is why you see the RBG colors on here, because this is about community here and abroad, waking up the dry bones in the valley of death, putting life into them and teaching them how to walk upright and be an instrument for change or a catalyst in their community. That's what you're commissioned to do. That's in these scriptures that you subscribe to. The non-material culture left behind by ancestors to push it down to the subsequent generation so that way they can take in and consume this data so that way they can yield results when they apply it. Okay. What are the McMichaels charged with? Let's go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit more. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. The McMichaels face murder and aggravated assault charges. The GBI said Thursday. The charges against Greg McMichael note he was party to the crime. Georgia law provides multiple scenarios in which parties to a crime can be charged with the crime itself. Are they still in the Glenn County Jail? Yes. At a Friday court appearance, a judge said bail would be decided at a later date. It's unclear whether the McMichaels are represented by attorneys. Why did the arrest take so long? It's not completely clear. It's not completely clear. The father used to work for the police department and was buddies with the prosecutors. How are you going to say it's not clear? But the recusals of 2 district attorneys, one who dubbed the McMichaels' actions perfectly legal. You hear that? Because they was making a citizen's arrest. Is that what we're doing now? So it stand your ground before, now a citizen's arrest. That's how we doing it in pursuit of somebody else, right? Under some kind of suspicion that you cannot validate. You didn't see this man break into the house and rob a house and then run out with the jewelry and valuables. You didn't see that. You didn't see him with a gun. You didn't see him trespass property. You didn't see none of this. So what probable cause did you have to chase him? He's a black man running in your white neighborhood. That's what the problem is. This is something to tell black folks, stay out of our neighborhoods. That's what that was. And it took so long because guess what? Former retired police officers are now heading the chase. So when they go and they chase down and shoot and kill a black man, guess what? Keep it swept under the rug. If that video did not leak, guess what? There would be no prosecution. Because as you can see, they said the other 2 who stepped down say, yo, it's perfectly legal. This is crazy. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. You would think that they would think about social distancing, especially when you see the actual crime occur, and then they will call the police before they chase the potential suspect. None of that happened. A police call was made after they was chasing him. Okay. 2 Glenn County commissioners, one of whom, Paul Murphy, has spoken to CNN, have publicly said local police told them that Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney Jackie Johnson's office instructed authorities not to make an arrest. Even if it's to arrest him just so that you can investigate, do it. And if he's innocent, let him go. Let the judge decide that. They said, no, we're not going to arrest these guys. Now, what if this was a white jogger in a black neighborhood? They would turn that neighborhood upside down. Everybody got a warrant. They're going to be looking for you in that neighborhood. Anybody on the street corner, you're getting arrested, you're getting shot, you're getting beat. And that thing will be prosecuted that same day. Is you crazy? Shooting a white person in a black community? Saying, oh, we fear for our lives. You think they're going to believe that? Okay. All right. Johnson called the accusation false and says the Glenn County Police Department should have requested GBI assistance earlier. She recused herself the day after the killing cited Greg McMichael's 20-year tenure as an investigator in the office, and commissioners are now trying to make excuses and ignore the problems that the Glenn County police department, for which they are ultimately responsible, she said. The GBI said no one requested his help in the case until Tuesday, though the GCPD had previously requested the agency's help with threats it was receiving and with the leak of the video. Because when they leaked the video, people call and say, yo, if you don't do something, we're going to come out there and we're going to start shooting y'all. We're going to come out there and we're going to start pressing y'all. We're going to come out there and start parading and marching until something is done. This is why I told y'all our voice is powerful. But you know what the problem is with our community? We are reactionaries. We're not proactivists. KHM, we're proactivists. Most of the black community, we are reactionaries. We turn this into a fad, into a tagline. I run with a mod. What you mean you run with a mod? That's not fixing the problem. That's getting temporary justice, but the root cause, you have not unveiled it. You are not trying to uproot the real issue. Okay. Will there be more arrests? Attorneys for Arbery's family have called for the arrest of William Rhodey Bryan, who filmed the video showing Arbery's killing. Okay, here they go right here. Bryan is no vigilante, had no real relationship with the Michaels, cooperated with police and provided them video of the killing, Gauck said. Yet he's been vilified, receiving death threats and losing his job, the lawyer said. The GBI has not accused Bryan of a crime, but Director Vic Reynolds told reporters, we investigate everybody involved in the case, including the individual who shot the video. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to say this. To all of the black folk in my community, when you see a crime going down against your own and you are just standing there filming, they should make that a felony. If you don't get involved in some way, shape, or form so that another brother and sister don't lose their life, it needs to be a felony. So you need to know, okay, look, I'm going to record and intervene. I'm going to record and I'm going to speak up and say something. You need to do something. Recording the entire event and not acting is a problem. You see how they almost got away by making a citizen's arrest? If you understand the law or you're jurisprudent, you know what the confines you have to make a citizen's arrest. It's not easy, and sometimes it may be difficult to prove, but you need to get involved and stop filming. I've seen so much trash on the internet of brothers and sisters getting stomped out, beat up, robbed, all types of things with somebody just recording, giggling, and laughing. I bet you if they make that a felony, y'all would get involved. You're going to be accessory to that crime if you don't intervene. And I'm not saying always jump in the midst of it, right? So that some harm coming your way, but at least make a police call about it. Call a politician, call somebody, call something. Should be some hotline you can call to get some kind of intervention. You should have a neighborhood watch. Everywhere I drive around out here in Atlanta, I go to the white communities. Before you come into the community, said this neighborhood is being watched. Black communities, I don't see that sign nowhere at all. The only time it becomes a problem in the black community is if you're encroaching on the drug dealers' territory, the gangs' territory, the pimps' territory. When you are engaging on their territory, they're going to come out, right? Because they have some vested interest in a property they don't even own that they're fighting over. But what I'm simply saying to y'all is we need to get more involved. And not more involved, we need to put proactive measures in place to prevent these things from happening. When is the trial? That will be laid out in future court hearings. Before putting a defendant on trial, she or he must be indicted, and the prosecution will not be able to present evidence to a grand jury until the state Supreme Court's coronavirus restrictions are lifted June 12th. You hear this? Will it be tried in Glenn County? It will be up to the McMichael's legal team to decide whether to press for a change of venue, which will ultimately be decided by a judge who will prosecute it. After State Attorney General Christopher Carr appointed Atlantic Judicial Circuit District Attorney Tom Durden as the third prosecutor in the case, Durden said he had neither previous knowledge of the incident nor any relationship with any investigators or witnesses. He has now asked to step down, according to a Monday statement from Carr. What is going on here? This is called white privilege. This is called the people that you think are there to protect and serve. When they retire, this is what they go doing. They go hunting. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying that there's certain one of them that take things so seriously in their community. What if black people took things more serious in their community? Why don't we drive out the drugs and the pimps and the prostitutes and the gangs from out of our community? This used to be done back in the 60s and 70s. Remember the Black Panther Party? Yeah, there was a political party. So everything else was an additional apparatus or an appendage. There was a political party that policed their own community. Why can't we do that? I did marches out here. Twice did marches out here with NOI and the March Science Temple of America. And we went through the bluff out in Atlanta where the drug dealers is heavy. Now they clean up the bluff out here. But drugs is heavy going into there. Why they out there selling drugs? Brothers got pistols on them and all that. Sisters out there just waiting to turn tricks. And we out there talking to them, hey, look, y'all got to do something else. My thing is, don't take away from their entrepreneurship spirit. Give them something to supplement it where they can make money. I said to brothers, look, you guys out here getting money. Yo, there's more money in the real estate game, fam. You can flip what you got here. The money that you got, you can wash it clean by investing in real estate and buying back your community and creating more homes for people who are getting foreclosed in your community. Black community has the highest rate of foreclosures. This is why the roads are so hard. This is why the schools suck, because those taxes, property taxes, are not going back into the community. Fix the problem. The drug game is dying. Okay, unless you're a cartel, big drug boss. When you see these rappers talking about drugs, most of them ain't doing that. If they were doing that, they cannot be a rapper. It don't work that way. So they may have done it in their past life, or they're rapping about things they've seen, but they're not about it. And that stuff is poison to the youth. You feel me? It's poison to the youth, because it went from selling drugs is bad. You know, when we had the conscious rap back in the day, selling drugs is bad, to the point is, all right, now we got to the point was, okay, selling drugs is bad, but I got to sell drugs to feed my family. It's wrong. I don't like it. I got to sell drugs to feed my family. Then it goes to boasting about selling drugs. Like, yeah, I'm a drug dealer and all that, all the way to now the generations previous that you were selling drugs to, now they growing up taking drugs. So I'm drinking lean, I'm popping perks and all of that. You see the degradation? And it was the infiltration of the music business to promote this garbage to get us to the point where we're at right now. And it's the vested interest of those who are controlling and pulling the strings to continue to perpetuate that type of music. So when we are seen in these communities, we are looking like a threat automatically. But this goes all the way back to, what do you do with the slaves that were freed after the Civil War? Then you start putting certain things in legislation, like the convict leasing program, right? And other programs, you know what I'm saying? And I did a whole lecture on this. You find ways, how do we deal with the Negro in America post-Civil War? And a lot of those slave catchers then go on to be police officers, because now the Vagrant Act made you being idle. Like, if the Vagrant Act was right now and you see brothers on the street corners, all the brothers out there in the street corners would be arrested. That's what they did with the Vagrant Act. Put you in jail. The objective is to go back and make sure that almost every black male goes through the system. And if they go through a system, you know what happens? After they shot Ahmaud, they said, yo, he committed some crime in the past. As if that's justification for shooting him today. You know why? Because that's part of the game. They want all of our brothers and sisters going through the system. And then you got the elementary school to prison pipeline going right down, because they taking out trade schools where it teach you that entrepreneurial spirit. So you didn't even have to go to college. You know, when you go to college, you get this huge student loan that you can't even pay off. You know how many people hit me up for debt elimination? And I would say 80% of those people have student loans going from anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000. If you had trades, I have a brother, I'm going to feature him in. He's an electrician by trade. I think he's like a supervisor, foreman, whatever. That brother and a couple of other people in his clique, they're making $250,000 off of the electrician trade. And another brother's a carpenter, makes $200,000 a year being a carpenter. No brother, that's a blacksmith. He's making $215,000 a year being a blacksmith. These are all trades. Those trade schools are gone. They systematically took them out the community because they realized, oh, y'all ain't got to go to college now. So we can't control your higher learning. Y'all open up business again. Even if you get in a trade as a hustle to get money to do something else. And then now social media, internet has changed the game. It changed the game. So now we got to understand what is really transpiring here, family. What's really going on? We got to wake up. We got to wake up. I'm going to get into the scripture in a second, and we're going to transition to something else that is also part of the problem that we need to resolve. All right. And again, my bad. I haven't seen anything that y'all been saying in here. Shout out to everybody that just joined in. I appreciate y'all for joining in, giving your feedback there in the chat. Shout out to Clarence Walsh in the building. Mac Ados Lee, what's going on? Azazaya Ban Yahawada, what's going on, my brother? Zaf Kiel Melek Kia in the building, what's going on? Okay. So I'm simply saying, family, what is the solution? I've been talking about this thing for a long time. And it seems like whenever I propose solutions, they get the least amount of reception. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm gonna segue into something else, and then I'm gonna touch on. Okay, let's finish with this first. All right, I'm on my soapbox a little bit because this is serious. Carr will now tap Cobb County District Attorney Joyette Holmes to lead the Michaels prosecution. This case has grown in size and magnitude since he accepted the appointment on April 13th, 2020. And as an experienced district attorney, Tom has recognized that another office is better suited from a resource perspective to now handle the case. So now you got to go to another county to get this taken care of. You know how crazy that sounds? Why did the second prosecutor recuse himself? Waycross Judicial Circuit District Attorney George Barnhill's son worked in the Brunswick Judicial Circuit, from which Greg McMichael retired. His son and McMichael once assisted a prosecution targeting Arbery. Barnhill said without elaborating in a letter last month to Carr. Though Barnhill saw no conflicts of interest in handling the Arbery case, he agreed to recuse himself at Arbery's mother's request, he said. What mental health record and convictions? Arbery's father, Marcus Arbery, denied his son had mental health issues, telling CNN ain't nothing wrong with him. So this is where the slander happens. This is where the character assassination. Oh, he had mental issues. Oh, he committed crimes in the past. So this justifies you killing an unarmed black man because he's jogging in your neighborhood. You see this? Y'all see this? This is called righteous indignation, righteous anger. I hate this. I do. I hate it because I love my people so much. I hate the injustice that happens against them. And when they perpetuate it on each other, not just the system, but the fact that we also perpetuate this on each other too. So many innocent black men get killed all the time by gangs because they're mistaken for somebody else. We see this happen all the time, family. Wrong place, wrong place, wrong time. This stuff happens all the time. So let's keep going. The Brunswick News reporter Arbery was indicted for, watch this, allegedly bringing a gun to a 2013 high school basketball game when Arbery was 19, and the family's legal team has acknowledged Arbery's 2018 arrest on shoplifting charges. The reference to alleged conduct from high school shoplifting is absurd, has nothing to do with his murder, family attorney Esley Merritt said. So, black man, if you get shot, if you get beat up by the cops, if something happens to you, the first thing you're going to do is go back to your past and use that to paint something crazy. And if they can't find nothing in your past, they're going to find something in your present to use against you. And I'm going to tell you right now, family, if anything ever happens to me, don't listen to nothing that they say, because they're going to try to find something or make something up to pin it on me to justify something happening to me. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying if it happens, just know if it happens, it's because I'm speaking out against this. And this is what happens when you speak out. You become a target, right? Because you are going against the norm. You're supposed to just be quiet. Hush up. Just do your marching and keep moving. Don't talk about that proactivism stuff. No, the system's in place because of structural racism. And I share this with you guys. Matter of fact, let me show you guys a great video on structural racism. All right. Because once you understand structural racism and you understand how that operates, then you'll have more appreciation for the solutions that I present to the community. And all of these solutions that I give, it comes straight from the culture that I subscribe to. Let me show you a great video from Brown University from an excellent sister who did a lecture series on structural racism. If you do not understand structural racism, you're not going to understand what's going on. The text tells you to be proactive and speaking against injustice, defending the fatherless and the needy and the poor and the oppressed. We are the most oppressed. Are you speaking out against it? Are you intervening on behalf of the city so that when it has peace, you have peace? Are y'all doing that? Are y'all putting boots to the ground? Are y'all making things happen? Yes? No? Okay. See this? When I talk like this, we don't get the numbers. When I talk like this, we don't even get the donations, and it's okay. I'm speaking this because it's not about the numbers and the donation. It's about what's right, and I'm speaking on it. So let me show you this excellent video on structural racism. And I shared this on Facebook before. Let me show it to y'all. All right. The sister's name is Trisha Rose. She did an excellent video on structural racism. You can type her name up. Let me show you this one video, the one that I enjoyed the most that she did. All right. It's called How Structural Racism Works. Let me drop that link here for you guys, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen so you can see it. All right. Y'all need to go back and watch this because almost every African-American that's in this chat, you are being adversely afflicted by structural racism. No matter how much money you getting, how much higher you think you're going up on the food chain, there's still a ceiling for you. And it will always be a ceiling for you unless you become sovereign. And you can't get sovereignty in America. You got to go someplace with $1 billion and buy a country or buy a piece of land somewhere else and then get the political ties and the protection and so forth to claim that as your own. You can only get but so much protection and so much autonomy here in America. And I say sovereignty, not to say I'm with the sovereign citizen. I don't deal with that. I teach autonomy, which is greater than sovereignty because you can't even exercise sovereignty here, but you can exercise autonomy. Okay. Let me show you this video real quick so you guys can check this out. And again, it's okay. No donations coming in. You know, the numbers just shot down because I'm talking about this. I don't care. It needs to be spoken of. It needs to be addressed. All right. So here's the video right here for you guys to go and see. Let me bring it up on the screen. All right. Here's the video right here. It's called How Structural Racism Works. The sister's name is Trisha Rose. She also has a video up here called White Fragility. Please watch it. This is out Brown University, a college. She's been teaching this. She got a PhD in 93. Okay. Please watch this and take in all of her lectures on this subject matter. She is a great speaker. So much so that you see over here. We got, where's it at? She goes, the whiteness in time of Trump. There was something else I was trying to see where with her in. It wasn't this TED Talk. It wasn't this TED Talk. It was something else that I seen it in where she was talking about it. But please go back and look up her work and watch it. Because if you don't know what structural racism is, you're going to continue to be a victim. For those of you talk, oh, we're under the curses. There's no curse. Those are consequences for your actions. People take that term curse and make it dogma and make it scary and spooky like it's the. But no, if you keep in the statute, laws, commandments, you're supposed to enjoy in the blessings before the curses. The only way that you can really fully take in these blessings is through autonomy and understanding the society in which you're operating autonomy. And so you know what autonomy is? Being Kodesh. A Kodesh community. And that set apart community, it patronizes its own for all its needs. So it can be self-governing. That's the end game. That's what we're pushing. That's the end game. We have to be a varus when this place is judged. If you're not a varus and this place is being judged, you're still tethered through an umbilical cord with this oppressive system, you're going down with it. That's just how it is. You must be prepared. That's why we teach autonomy. So going from this Ahmaud Arbery situation, marching is not going to help. Getting these two guys arrested, convicted, and even putting them in jail is not fixing the problem. It's not fixing the problem. Let me show you guys what we were able to achieve with some of y'all probably aware of after the Civil War. Let me show you this video. Right? Actually, I'm not going to show it because if I show it, it's going to be flagged. Let me just bring the video up so you guys can see it for yourself. Give me a second. All right. Shout out to my brother Knowledge True for the donation. I appreciate that. All right. I want you guys to see this video. And then I'm going to show you my solutions. Okay. Some of y'all may be new to this channel. My day ones already know. If you're new to this channel, you probably don't know about the solutions that I propose. But let me let you see this. You see this right here? Rare 1920s footage. All black towns live in the American dream by National Geographic. This is rare footage. It says by the 1920s, Oklahoma was home to some 50 African-American towns, in addition to a large and prosperous black community living in the city of Tulsa, which a lot of you know about, Black Wall Street. These towns and their self-reliant middle class and affluent residents are documented by the home movies of Reverend S.S. Jones and an itinerant minister and businessman, known and respected by the citizens of the towns whose lives he captured on film. Reverend Jones' work offers revealing glimpse of these communities as a haven for African Americans who very often face discrimination elsewhere in America. The subjects are everyday life: a family on the front porch of their bungalow, shop workers at a storefront, farmers plowing in fields, children playing on seesaws in a schoolyard. Much of the material documents the economic life of the towns, from business districts filled with prosperous merchants to the homes of successful professionals with an abundant countryside beyond. As Ray Combs, curator of film and photography for the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture, points out in her commentary, here we even find a married couple who were oil barons, proof of the extraordinary progress made in a relatively short time since the end of slavery. The fashion and hairstyles, automobiles and horses, and even such details as a man manually pumping gasoline at a filling station make the film a fascinating record of the lives of Americans and African Americans in particular in the early 20th century. People say, oh, we can't do Black Wall Street no more. What? You know, there's affluent black communities that's here in Americas, right? You just don't see a lot of coverage on the media about them. It's possible. Will we always hit a ceiling? Yes, we know that. But the bottom line is to make breathing room for you, your family, and your community, which is your extended family. So that way we can push through and endure while these things are happening around us. So y'all go back and check this video out. I saw this. I was blown when I seen it, because you hear it about, oh, Black Wall Street, but here's actual footage of people that live there, man, being successful. And then, just so you know, what's the name of that show, man? Oh, man, I can't believe I forgot the name of the show. The Watchmen. So there's a TV series from the film called The Watchmen. Watch season 1, episode 1. Watch that. When it opens up, it shows you how Black Wall Street was brought down and destroyed. A lot of people don't know. After that, they rebuilt it. They rebuilt it back up even stronger than before. But eventually, over time, because of politics and so forth, it was diminished. But there are other communities now out here in the land working on Greenhaven, which is our black municipality, cityhood, right? One of the largest in the entire state and one of the largest in the entire country. West and Central South DeKalb, or West and Central DeKalb, right? Or Central and South DeKalb. And the purpose of this is so that way the 90%, 86 to 90% of African Americans that live there is the majority voice and representation. See, that's the problem. When you have that disparity, when you have this small percentage here, right? Say the white community and maybe 15%, 85% African Americans. And guess what? When you look into the legislation, the judicial systems, and the executive, all of that is part of this small representation. That's why these things are happening. Also, there's a lack of consequences. You know why? Because black folk don't get involved in politics. We scared of politics. Oh my God. It's crazy. I have a video on this channel. Didn't even get a lot of views of me sitting with an OG African-American dude, OG, political scientist that was breaking down how politics works, the voting process, how you raise funds for your voting, what you can do to stunt the growth of other politicians if they don't support your voice, how you can get involved. I sat there, I shot some footage, man, and I brought it back home to y'all because I want you to understand how this game works. We're afraid of that. And it's crazy. I bring up all the time, Jeremiah chapter 29. How do you get peace in the city? When you intervene on Yah's behalf, and in its peace, you shall also have peace. How can we get peace? You must get up and do. Be proactive. Okay. All right. Oh, wait. I'm not even sharing the screen. I'm bugging out. Let me share the screen. Hold on. There we go. There's the screen right here. Rare 1920s footage. All black towns living the American dream. National Geographic. Look this up. Look it up. Screenshot it. Pause it. If you're watching this after the session is over, go back and rewind it. Okay? So let's get some scripture on this. Let's deal with this. All right? Because this is serious. This gets people say, oh, you say it all the divine. Where's the scriptures? Okay. Let's get the scriptures on. Because if I don't bring a scripture up, somebody's gonna get a heart attack. So let me bring the scripture up. So no, there's no heart attacks in here. All right. Let's get it. Bring it up on my screen real quick. Right? Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 17. All right, let's bring it up on the screen real quick. It says, learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, bring justice to the fatherless, plead the widow's cause. So we go up to the previous verse, wash yourselves, make yourselves clean, remove the evil of your deeds from before my eyes, cease to do evil. So when you stand by idly and don't get involved, you're doing evil. You are acquiescing to the wickedness that's going on when you don't speak up, when you don't get involved. Learn to do good. Let's break some of these things down, right? If we go down, I want you to see this word, darash, root word for seek, mishpat, for your justice, defend, shafat, defend, plead. All of these things are important. All these verbs are important. As you can see, if you look in here, if you parse them out, you get to understand how this is, you are being instructed to do these things, family. I'm not making this up. This is your text. So in order for anything to come about as far as good, you have to learn to do good, which is how do you fix these problems? So I have amassed the solution, okay? From an Israelite perspective, I'm going to share it right now. Hold on. Let me share it right now. I'm going to share my playlist with y'all. Okay, where's my playlist? Let me bring it up. Right, my solutions playlist. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna drop it in. People say, "Oh, Divine, you talking about this? What's your solution?" Here you go. There it is, right there. There it is, right there. You want to know how to fix this problem? It's right there. All right, it's right there. Shout out to the Black Carib in the building. What's going on? Can you share the link to that video with the OG? Oh, you want to see the political scientist, the Black political scientist? Okay, no problem. Somebody's showing interest in it. I like that. That's good. Let me go ahead and bring it up. I'll go ahead and grab that for you real quick. Where's that video at? Here it is. Drop it here in the chat. It's right there. That's the link right there for whoever's interested in it. Okay? All right. So let's do something else real quick, and then I'll open it up and we could talk. All right? We could talk. I'll open up. We could talk. All right? Facts, book, chapter, verse. I agree. Shout out to Nini Conklin in the building. Scott Garrett Headley in the building. Hebrew Unity and Truth. What's going on? Tony Israel, Judah, Von Eric. What's going on? Janelle, Mrs. Yao over money. What's going on? I think I got ITC in the building. What's up? And I think that is everybody. Shout out to Sister Cheryl for the donation. I appreciate that, my sister. All right, family. So let's keep going. Again, this is not popular speech, man. It's not popular speech. It's not. People don't want you talking about justice, man. They tune out. You know why? Because they don't want to get involved. If you say something that obliges the community to get involved actively, and this is what happens, Christianity and Israelite ideology has made people lazy. It made people lazy. You know why? When something happens, they blame the Most High. The Most High judge it. But then when something happens to you, did he judge you too? They don't want to talk about that. Oh, we're going to wait for Jesus to come and save us. They're not messianic. Oh, we're going to wait till the Most High intervenes. Nobody wants to put their hand to the plow and get it dirty for the cause of becoming autonomous. Nobody want to do that. I've done countless videos with me in these streets doing proactivism. You can go back and check the resume on this. And I still got footage I still got to put out. Still haven't put out yet. Put in work in these streets to benefit y'all. Because a lot of times with our community, it's wait and see. It's like, oh, that brother say he's going to do this. Yeah, I'll wait to see how it goes. That has been killing us. That's the plague that kills our community. Wait and see. I'm going to wait and see if things get better. And if it do, then I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. What? You're going to wait and see? That's how we doing it? Is that how we doing it? Okay. All right. All right. Shout out to my brother Robbie Haywood in the building. Jordan's Cadet. What's going on? He said, Allah Akbar. The Orthodox Moor. What's up? What's up? What's up? So let's move on to the second thing, man. That's making me upset, man. And again, don't take this personal, family. Okay. When I talk about this, y'all don't take this personal. Okay. This is something serious. All right. I want to show this to y'all, man. I want to show you where we are as a people, man. I'm going to show you where we are as a people. All right. Y'all, I'm going to show this to y'all, man. Let me show this to you. Let me bring it up on the screen. This is what's really bothering me, man. Hold on. We're going to show you this. Y'all see this? Y'all see what this say right here? Crowds gathered to buy new Air Jordans in Atlanta after lockdown lifted. Now, we got to deal with this, family. The couple of times when I went out to the mall, like I went to the mall earlier today. Earlier today, I went to the mall as well. There was a line outside of Jimmy Jazz. There was what you're gonna see here. There's a line outside of what was that? Finish Line, Foot Locker, and I'm looking at the line. I'm like, wow. So they don't let you in, right? Because you gotta do social distancing, wear masks, and all of that. So they put you on a line. But I was asking people, yo, what you on a line for? You know what they were telling me? Oh, the Jordans were released, so we're waiting to go get a pair. I was like, and I'm being funny. I was like, oh, so that's what we spending our stimulus checks on now? They said, oh, come on, man. Like, oh, come on, man. Oh, you blowing my, oh, come on, man. So it's just the fact that you're saying, yo, this is a famine. And y'all out here with your stimulus checks buying Jordans? Is that how we doing it? Y'all out here with your unemployment checks buying, you know, the unemployment percentage is at almost, the unemployment percentage, we have over 33 million people out of job. That is almost 10% of the working class in this society that is unemployed. Almost 10%. I think it may be more than that now. And most of those people on those lines, guess what? Was getting unemployment, using their unemployment, using their stimulus check to go buy some Jordans. Oh, I gotta look fly during coronavirus. Like, you're not going nowhere anyway. Yo, family, you cannot make this up, man. This is not a script. This is real life. This is real life. This is what our people are doing, man. Real life. And look, this is not a shot to any of y'all. Some of y'all sneakerheads out there say, yo, I got Jordans, man. But you're not spending your stimulus check on Jordans, right? You're not spending your unemployment on Jordans, right? You're spending surplus money on Jordans that you can order online. What the hell you doing in the line during coronavirus? Waiting for some Jordans. The first thing we do, this is why I tell people all the time, the black dollar used to circulate 6 hours. It's going down to 4 hours now. The moment you give black people some money, even if it's reparations, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go buy some Nikes, buy some Jordans, buy some jewelry. You see this? Let me show you the difference between me and what you see out there. You see what this is on my neck? Y'all see, hold on. Let me show it to y'all. You see this? Hold on. I'm going to get back to this article. Y'all see this on my neck? See this? Look at this. See this? I got this from sister Riri, right? She made the piece. It came with a necklace. I didn't like it too much, so I got it changed out for a brother called Derek Seiler. All right, you can hit him up on Facebook. I'm telling you who my jeweler is, right? See this? This is what I go out and buy. When it comes to clothes, unless it's manufactured by my community, I'm not spending a lot of money on clothes and sneakers, family, because I'd rather have that money in a bank account or in cryptocurrency or in silver and gold or in property. Do you understand? I'm about to show you scripture on this. Do y'all understand? The righteous should be storing up wealth when the wicked spend their money. So we need to create services, goods, and products. So when the wicked want to go out there and spend their money, we got something to give them so we can pull those resources in and put it towards autonomy. That's how it works. Okay. It might just be me. Hey, look, if you want to floss and be fly, I have no problem with that. Just don't spend your surplus funds. Don't spend your unemployment. That's not wise. That's all I'm saying, family. Use wisdom. That's it. So they're in line. Now watch this. They're supposed to be 6 feet apart. People were inching up because they wanted to rush in there and grab them Jordans, man. They weren't even 6 feet apart, man, on that line at all. Out here in Atlanta, we got a spot called the Juicy Crab. Man, that place is always popping. You know who's the first people there? Us. We lining up for some crabs, bruh. So, again, I'm only far from it. Drove right by it, seen a whole long line. People waiting in their cars and all that to get some crabs, bruh, and some shrimp. Crazy. Not even adhering to social distancing. They created a window, a serving window from out of the actual store, the restaurant, so they can serve you. You come in, you order. They had this big white tent. You come in, pick up your crab legs, man, and your shrimp. It's crazy, man. Crazy, man. And this is what we do as a people. This is why we're destroyed, man. This is why we need proactivism and autonomy so we can be the archetype of what can be done. So let me bring it back up so y'all can see this, man. I want y'all to see this, man. Soon as they ease restrictions out here in Atlanta, the first thing Negroes want to do is go buy some Jordans, man. Yo, you cannot make this up. You can't make this up. Crowds gathered to buy new Air Jordans in Atlanta after lockdown lifted. Here's what it looked like at Jimmy Jazz's doors open at Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta. Everyone I talked to was in line for the new Air Jordan 5 that sold out online. So you're buying a retro sneaker, which means it's old. It's not new. And it was sold out online, obviously. So Negroes said, yo, we got to go there and get some Jordans. I don't care if it's the end of the world. You're going to see black folk with Jordans on their feet when it's the end of the world. I don't care if it's World War II, if it's a nuclear bomb that go off. When they go back in, if some people survive and they go back and look at African American, they're going to see Jordans on our feet and chains on us. We're going to die flossy, man. I'm telling you, man. We're going to die fresh to death. Literally. Yo, this is not a game, man. This is serious. Look at this. You can't make this up, man. You cannot. If you're going to spend money, invest it someplace that's going back to your community, man. To some form of philanthropy somewhere. We offer philanthropic endeavors here, but I'm saying like Jordans, man. And now this video won't even load. I don't know why. An Atlanta mall saw massive crowds gather Saturday to buy the new Air Jordan sneakers after lockdown restrictions were lifted, according to a report. Shoppers packed close to formed lines that wrapped outside Greenbrier Mall on Saturday to get their hands on the new Air Jordan 5 fire red sneakers. News Station 11 Live reported video posted to social media show people waiting to get into the mall and then again outside the shoe store Jimmy Jazz. Everyone I talked to was in line for a new Air Jordan 5 that sold out online, tweeted NBC producer Charlie Guile. The sneaker friendly comes after Georgia Governor Brian Kemp allowed shelter-in-place orders to expire and encourage businesses to reopen. First thing Negroes do is go do this. We're not trying to get no cryptocurrencies, no precious metals portfolio, no property. First thing Negroes doing is getting some Jordans, man. We're not even trying to go to a black business. You think buying Jordans is going to a real black business? No, it's not, family. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. They passed by all those black-owned businesses in Greenbrier Mall, and Negroes is lining up for Jimmy Jazz, man. Okay. All right. I didn't write that. I didn't make that up. I'm showing you what's going on. I'm showing you what I seen out here. This is serious. Ain't nobody trying to learn no survival skills. Ain't nobody trying to get no MRE rations. Ain't nobody trying to have a bug out bag. Ain't nobody trying to have an emergency plan. Ain't nobody trying to invest in no black businesses, learning how to be autonomous, creating a network so you can get resources and things. Ain't nobody trying to do none of that. Negroes want some Jordans, man. Okay. All right. The moment I said, oh, that's where the stimulus money is going. Oh, man. Yo, I'm telling you, when I said that was hilarious. Oh, man. It's like, oh, come on, bro. Why you busting my chops, man? Yo, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. So they're going to be like, bro, Divine, you ain't give no scriptures. All right, let's get some scriptures, man. Let's go to Mishle or Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20. All right. I want to show you this, man. 21 verse 20. Let me throw it on the screen. You can read it in a myriad of different translations, or we can get into the Hebrew. It's up to y'all. But if we go into it, let's take a look at it real quick. All right. It says, precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. So when we get precious treasure and oil at that time, and we translate it today, which is the stimulus check, money that you earn, you know what we do? We devour it. We consume it. We are not big producers. We are the biggest consumers almost in the world. With 46 million African Americans, I don't know how much it is now because we just did the census, so we're going to find out. But we put $1.1 trillion in commercial assets, things that we purchase and buy. We put up $1.1 trillion, family, a year. A year. And you know what them Negroes putting them things in? Let me get a foreign car. Let me get some European clothes. Let me get some jewelry on my neck. Let me get some Jordans so I can stay fly. That's the problem, family. When you learn this culture, it humbles you from that because it's all vanity. If you can't feed the next person, then what good is you having extra? If you can't feed the next person, what good is that? Where your storage should be? In the belly of your neighbor. Where your storage should be? In assets that you can utilize as leverage in the event that something occurs even bigger than coronavirus. Are you prepared for what's about to come? You know, when you want to look at the scriptures, you know, in Avaris or Goshen, it says the plagues didn't touch Israel. It didn't touch them there in Avaris. You see the plagues hitting here, it's touching all of us. We're not into health like we should. Our credit is jacked up. We're spending our money frivolously on vanity. We're consuming media that has nothing to do with constructive thinking. We're not getting involved in learning new trades and skills that once you come out of this, you got a new hustle so that you can store that money and invest it back into your community. Where are we at as a people? I'm not one to kick our community while we down. I'm here to whoop your behind. And after whoop you behind, I have that one-on-one talk with you and say, look, this is how we're going to prevent this whooping from happening again. I put the link in there for the solutions. Anytime I post something, whenever I hear somebody says, yeah, we know about that, what's the solution? They don't follow DivineProspect. They don't know about how we get down in KHM. But you're going to learn today. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Proverbs 15:6 says, in the house of the righteous there is much treasure, but trouble befalls the income of the wicked. You know why? Because they're investing in the wrong things. Where is their backyard garden at? So that way, when you're picking your crops, anything that falls to the ground, you gather it and give it to the poor. And if you don't have a backyard garden, then you trim off some funds from the money that you have and you give it to the fatherless, you give it to the widows, you give it to the oppressed and the poor. That's what you're supposed to do. This is when COVID-19 hit. We said, look, we got to have a GoFundMe because ministry funds that we allocate to giving, we're gonna burn through that. We need to raise a GoFundMe to give it to those who have a need. That's where mostly my energy, effort, and time went into raising funds to give to those in need. So now we got 40 people on our belt that we assisted and more. And if you need help, we'll give it to you. But if you go spend it on Jordans, if I see you on social media, you saying you ask for help, because this happened one time. I think this is back in 2015. I'll never forget it. There was a sister, older sister, hit me up saying, oh, I got 5 kids. We need, some money. Can you help us? KHM said, yeah, we'll give you some money. I got the sister, I think we gave her a couple $100 or whatever back in 2015. I followed the sister on social media. You know what I saw? She went and bought some shoes for her and bought some Jordans for her son. I said, never again. I'm going to screen everybody. Heartbreaking. Because you're just getting by, but as soon as you get some extra money, you go spend it. Okay. You want to really know the character of somebody? See what they invest their money, effort, time, and energy into. What they invest their time, energy, effort, and energy into is going to define their character or is an expression of their character. Okay. Our priorities out of whack, family. Our priorities out of whack. All right. All right. So with that being said, family, all right. I'm looking on Patreon. We got one more Patreon. Thank you so much. I'm gonna shout out the person. The person is Jordan and Kanisha. Shout out to Jordan and Kanisha for their pledge. Thank you so much, guys. We need one more pledge, and somebody will win this right here tonight. Let's get one more pledge so somebody can win this right here. One more pledge. One more pledge. One more pledge on Patreon, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect, and we're going to give this away today to somebody. And we got about 15, 20 more minutes before we close this session. So far, we've been running at 1 hour and 41 minutes. All right. So we're going to close up within 2 hours. Okay. So we got 18 minutes left. One more patron on our Patreon, and somebody will win this gift card. All right. So with that being said, family, so the panel is open. Q&A is open, family. All right. To y'all, I just wanted to address those things. I had to get that off my chest before I can move forward. Also, I want to let you guys know right now what's going on with me. So right now, what I'm doing is making a lot of preparations to expand KHM. You haven't seen a lot of lectures from me recently, but that will change. Right now, what I'm trying to do is expand KHM a little bit more so we can get more assistance, more help in, and then I can focus more on the creative process of things, the think tank part of things, and pushing out more lectures. There's a lot of things I want to lecture on that I have in my schedule, but right now I'm focusing on expanding KHM, and I would say we're trying to do 20 major cities and then minor cities so we can have that safe haven in all of these places. When these things happen, we can educate the people, we can equip them, and then we can edify them so they can go out there and put in this work. All right. So that's important. So right now, if you haven't seen a lot of lectures from me, the last lecture I did, it was 4-part series, and it was because I was asked to do it. This year is really the year of grinding, expanding the ministry, finding new things that we can offer to the community that's useful, right? Services, merchandise we can give out to you guys. Speaking against injustices like we just seen, dealing with the health situation with coronavirus, and then expanding in different cities. Okay. Offering employment. So a lot of my time has been going with growing the ministry. So you haven't seen a lot of dedicated lectures, but after we get over that hump, which coming into the summer, you're going to see more dedicated lectures, more PowerPoints, more lectures. I'm going to go in. I get so many requests. I'm going to go in. If you're a patron supporter, post is going to go up asking, try to find out what you want me to lecture on next. And then I'll give a preview on Patreon, and then I'll release it out here on YouTube for public consumption. Okay. But again, I just want to give you guys a heads up. I'm growing KHM. So That's why you're not seeing a lot of lectures, dedicated lectures, but they're coming, right? Still have the coronavirus lecture that I'm still going to do for y'all, that I've been working on. Haven't finished it yet, so that's why I haven't presented it. And there's other lectures that I have coming up that people are interested in. But again, I want to give our Patreons, the people who support this ministry, to keep us moving forward and doing what we got to do. Yeah, Scott Garrett Headley, the DMV area has been requesting for KHM out there. So we're going to have a KHM DMV soon. Hopefully it'll be by the end of this year, probably in the fall time. We come and check y'all out. All right. In DC, I got family in Maryland. All right. So I'm gonna come check y'all out. We're going to see what we're going to do in the DMV area as well. All right. So I appreciate that. All right. So again, family, we just need one more patron. Okay. Shout out to my brother Mendez for the tracks. He dropped some tracks in there. I'm gonna go check it out, my brother. And if it's good, if it passes the screening, man, we're gonna throw you on a mixtape, man, and bring you to a much broader audience. Okay. Shout out to my brother Jetson Silencio for his edit. I appreciate that. So look, family, one more patron. This card goes up to $500. Okay. Somebody can win this today. I'm not saying it's $500 on here. I'm not telling you what's on here, but I'm just saying somebody's going to win this gift card today so you can purchase some books. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you're already here, hit that thumbs up, family. Okay, so make the people mad when they see me talking about injustices and giving solutions and all of that. They're like, oh, man, we're bringing this to the forefront. Hit that thumbs up. Share this video. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe. Go over to the bell button. Hit that bell button. Click all. So every time we go live, you get the alerts, like the Amber Alerts. You get the alerts from KHM. You know when we going live. You know when we go on, we go in. All right. So again, family, one more patron, and then this will be for somebody who just now tuning in. All right. So with that being said, let me go ahead and drop the invite link into the chat. All right. If anybody wants to jump on, we got 14 minutes. All right. Let me drop that in the chat. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. If I can answer it real quick, I will. Shout out to Tegan Francis. Says, can you please repost the solutions link? All right. Yes, I got you. Give me 1 second. Let me bring that up. Okay. I'll definitely got you on that. Hold on. All right. So the solutions link is right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat. I got some, man, I could show it on the screen real quick until we get somebody to jump in the chat. I dropped the link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on the panel. Let me bring it up on the screen real quick so you can see. Let me show you right here. All right, here it is right here, as you can see. Unity to autonomy, globalizing Black power, implementing culture to establish autonomy. RBG Hebrews implementing strategies. If you saw this piece, it says RBG Ibri, right? RBG, right? Resh Beit Gimel. And then you have your Ibri at the bottom, all right? Independence Nay, from economic subversion to autonomous conversion, picnic, STEAM's conference, me at the United Nations, a template for building a Black community, rally against Black on Black violence and police brutality, the missing children report, countdown to ground zero. I got tons of stuff on here. The lost tapes, check the lost tapes. I revolutionizing the Black community. That interview I had from Revolutionary Minds, y'all definitely got to check it out, fam. All right, definitely check it out. All right. All right, so anybody else, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and add my brother Jordan's Cadet in the building. What's going on, my brother?
Oh, what's up, man? Okay, so check this out. Listening to the things you were saying, and yeah, I still think it's the money and just like I wrote some stuff down, right, about like deception, because I realized that our enemies have to master deception in order for them to create an opportunity for them to win. And I'm just like realizing, yo, we all, no matter what, are a product of our environment, because even those of us that think critically, we can only examine the evidence that's there. And I'm saying all that because when you're telling me that story about that sister that's doing that with the money, I'm like, I think people have to understand that wickedness is not, it's not like an on and off thing. It's a grade, like a gradient. You know what I'm saying? Because we all start at the the lowest end of wickedness before we pass through all the things before we reach excellency. You know what I mean? Because there was a time in my life I probably would have stole money from you. You see what I'm saying? Until I now can see that as something that I wouldn't do. You couldn't pay me to do something like that. But it took time for my understanding to grow like that. And that's why I feel like exposure is so important, because it is hard to forgive these things that we go through, because, you know, you just want to help. And it feels like when you want to help, your heart, when you open yourself up, you're more tender to these type of things. But at the same time, I know where they're coming from, and I know the wickedness that I used to do and where I was with what I thought was cool at the time. And a lot of it just had to do because they either didn't understand, or we all have to personally admit that there's a certain amount of understanding that we need until it's like, okay, now we really got to repent. For some people, it was just religion and they let go of the pork. For me, it was religion and science. And it took a lot of things for me to say, okay, I can't lie to myself no more. This is bad. And one last thing I wanted to throw out there is I've been reading a lot about deception and whatnot, because I noticed too, like in your sorry, with everything is all scrambled in my head. You answered this call real quick. I ain't had time to think. But because I noticed in, you know, your audience, they always want the scriptures, because it's like, it's not what you say, it's where it's coming from. And that's deep. And I think that goes back to the first problem with the exposure to information, and how, like, you know, we're living in a very deceitful world, and we really need to understand that critical thinking, and the flow of information. And just, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but I think that a lot of what we're trying to accomplish has a lot to do with information. You see what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with exposing people with enough information at the right time, because obviously every one of us, most of us that are watching, like, we're passionate about something, that something has happened to cause a change. And I look back in my life and I think at the times of my life, had I had not changed this path, what kind of person would I have been? You know what I mean? It just took enough information at a certain point for me to say, okay, I have to change, because the things I thought were cool back then, if you would have asked me what was cool back then to define it, I would not have even thought that that's something to be defined. I just thought it was just something you just know that you know. But my understanding of power and the process of defining reality and the influence that can have on somebody when someone is witnessing someone that is able to change the minds of other people just by talking, and the power that has on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more you get in that and you're realizing, man, like, you know, truly the power of the Most High is really what we should envy. We should really desire be more like the source of power, and not the things that have been made by his power. And I feel like I feel bad for our people, because the more I'm understanding the different variations of, you know, chess pieces out there that exist in the spiritual hierarchy, I feel like I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the flow of, and just every time you read the Exodus and you see how things went, it's like, dude, like, you need a God. You need something powerful enough to create an environment of penalties and rewards, because people just ain't having it. Because, you know, like you said with the whole Jordans, well, what's going to happen to them if they don't? What you going to do? You see what I'm saying? Because that's how they see it. Like, even when I'm driving down the road, the way people drive, they'll never do what's right unless they're penalized. Some people will do what's right because it's the right thing, but very few people will. Most people will only do the right thing in fear of the penalty. And I'm like, there's no, you can't create an environment like that without the Most High. You need something powerful to be like, do it or die, because that's the only way to get everyone to do something, you know, because they're not going to be penalized for those Jordans. It's just unfortunate, but I feel like the false information has a lot to do with it.
And I agree. And again, always insightful, my brother. Thank you for the input. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Me and you on the same wavelength with that. Thank you for sharing your two cents. And I don't know if we're gonna have back more time to get back around to you, but if we do, I'll let you speak again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate that. All right. Next, my brother Yarden in the building. What's going on, Aki?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you?
Man, how's Georgia taking care of y'all?
We taking care of Georgia, man. That's what it is. Yep.
I just wanted to ask though, in regards, you got me on the list when it comes to the natural path to Eden, right?
You are KHM, bruh. We got you. Yeah. I'll inbox it as soon as we get the flyers. I'll put the flyers out so people will know when we do the conference. It's gonna be 2 separate ones. It's gonna be a session for the credit repair, and it's gonna be one for Natural Path to Eden. We got a lot of inquiries of people that are interested in joining up. So I said, instead of spending time to individually address each one, I'm just gonna do a group session, and that way I can just share everything in a group, and then it'll be quicker to onboard people, right? And get everybody started. So everybody has their affiliate code. Everybody have their consultant training. And then from there, people can work out to do as much or as little as they want. And then we give them money to start off, right? $10 for the affiliate program, $20 for the consultant. So it's up to them. And we'll continue to keep that up every month, right? We'll be able to give to them every month, provided that they're able to continue to work it, right? So we give you these little incentives along the way to continue to push you to continue to partner with us. But yeah, you're definitely on the list, my brother. You can't forget you, man.
I remember one time you saying you helped your mother, I believe, with her thyroid. So my aunt wanted to, she wanted to get her consultation. I didn't want to have her wait or whatever. So she just needs this Jubilee.
Yeah. So what I'll do with that is I can talk to you individually about that, and just text my phone. You have my number, right?
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for I lost my phone, but when my new phone comes in, I'll text you on Facebook and I'll get your number again.
Yeah. And then that way I can just help you. I mean, you can probably put them on 3-way, and then I can just talk with them a little bit and try to kind of give them some insight. But I want to give you some references on that, right? So in my absence, you still have a reference point to kind of push on. Because I mean, you doing good with the health stuff. You know what I'm saying? You just need the references. So I'll give you the references for the thyroid thing, and then you can just review it yourself, get familiar with it, and then start the process with her. You know what I'm saying? And then I can come in and assist if needed. All right.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the books and everything that you've given to me and everything. Keep up the work, Aki.
Anytime, King. I appreciate all your support and for making a difference when I watch you, man. So you've grown a lot, my brother, and I appreciate that, man. Keep pushing, all right?
Trying a day at a time. See you later.
All right, King. All right, so before I continue, I'm gonna get to Brother Knowledge and Ivry in a second. I want to shout out to all the people who just signed up for Patreon. Shout out to Diamond Silencio, Myron Henderson, Apollos, Sister Janelle. Thank y'all so much for signing up for Patreon that fast, man. I thank y'all for all your support and the sacrifices y'all make. Y'all take this channel seriously, you know what I'm saying? And y'all really want to see a difference. And, y'all, you're working vicariously through me, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. So with that, I want to give this away right here to somebody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the chat now. I'm going to look at the chat. All right. So family, if y'all want to win this, all right, whoever's in the chat. So y'all can thank the people who sign up for Patreon because they made this possible, right? If you can guess the amount on this gift card, start throwing some numbers in there. The first person to guess how much is on this gift card will win this gift card. All right. So again, it's a gift card right up here. Anybody who can guess how much is on this card, I'm going to see the numbers right now, man. Tell me how much you think is on this card. And if you get it right, you will win this card. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a chance. Shout out to Janelle, Mrs. Yalva Money. Yes, you are the change. Y'all are the change, and I appreciate that. Again, hit that thumbs up button, family. Thank you, Noelia. All right, so I see some numbers coming in. I see some numbers coming in. Uh-oh, somebody got it. Okay, family. Okay, that's enough. Wait. Somebody won. Y'all going crazy in there, man. Yo, I'm gonna do this again. Next live stream, I'm gonna have another card. All right. So somebody already got it. Wait, slow down, family. All right, I got you. All right, somebody won already. Look at y'all still going. Yo, I love y'all, man. Yo, okay, somebody already got it. Book, chapter, and verse. Really? He's like, I'm gonna cover everything. All right. So wait. Somebody already got it. All right. So I'm gonna say shout out to Gatherer of Israelite Nation Netherlands. You won this gift card. Okay. So I want you to thank Diamond Silencio, Myron Henderson, Apollos, Janelle, Mrs. Yalvo Money, and Jordan and Kanisha, and my brother Jetson Silencio. They made it possible for you to win this gift card tonight. So you've won it, my brother. All right, you've won it. Gather of Nations, email me, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. I'll give you all the details off of this card so you can begin making purchases immediately. All right. So family, in the next live stream, I'm going to have another gift card with another amount, and somebody will be able to win that. You don't have to do the Patreon at that point. I just decided to do it tonight. But when I have the next one, the next live stream, I'm going to have another gift card, and it's going to be more than the amount that he already guessed. And you guys can win it just for showing up and showing your support. Okay. So I appreciate that. You won, and he's all the way in the Netherlands, man. All the way. We got our people scattered everywhere, family. All right. So don't look down people in other nations and think that there's Israelites everywhere, man. We touch everywhere. Full broad spectrum reach, because this is where this word coming out. This is why we have to be grateful for social media and the internet and YouTube, because we've reached people that maybe 20 years ago we probably would have never had spoken a word to. This information on this channel have reached people as far as Australia and New Zealand, as far as India. I even met some people as far as Siberia. I'm like, yo, there's Israelites in Siberia. What the heck is going on? Somebody hit me up from Greenland. Somebody hit me up from South Africa. My brother Seth in it from South Africa. People hit me up from Argentina and Peru and Brazil. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So all praise to the Most High that we're able to have a platform to reach so many people and make this world much smaller so we can be each other's keeper. People say, oh, you brother's keeper? Hell yeah. You sister keeper? Hell yeah. That's not going nowhere. I'm y'all's keeper. And hopefully y'all got my back as well. So let me open up my brother Knowledge in the building. Let me go ahead and unmute you, my brother, so you can go ahead and give some words, man. All right. So there you go, my brother. The floor is all yours.
Hey, peace and blessings, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good, my brother. Thank you so much for joining us in on the panel. Go ahead. The floor is yours, my brother.
I just had a question on 1 Samuel 19 and 20.
1 Samuel 19 and 20.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me grab it.
No problem. The question is really oriented around what we see mainly in the Pentecostal church as far as like the Holy Spirit and how the Holy Spirit comes upon a person and kind of makes them lose control of their function.
All right, facts. All right, go ahead and read it. We'll go ahead and decipher it.
Okay. All right, I'll pull the whole chapter.
I'm gonna put it on my screen so people can see it. Hold on.
Okay. It actually starts at verse 20 when I'll read it. This is
go ahead.
From. Let me make sure this is the right version. All right. It says, then Saul sent messengers to take David, and when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as head over them, the Spirit of God, or the Spirit of Elohim, came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And as the scripture goes on, it talks about how he sent another group out. They did the same thing. They prophesied. Another group, a third group, they prophesied. Saul went out there at about verse 22, and he also went out and started prophesying. Well, they were supposed to go out and had an agenda to go and kill David, but as the scripture says, as we observe the text, they don't fulfill their mission as though something took over them. And then also we see this kind of occurrence where in the book of Acts, where the tongues of fire came down and they began speaking in unknown tongues as appears, starts to speak in many different tongues, as the text says, speaking in different tongues and prophesying in different people's languages. The Yahudim coming from other areas, seeing that these men were talking, thinking that they were drunk. But nevertheless, to sum it up, it goes into many different times where the Spirit of God comes upon an individual or a group of individuals, and in a sense, they kind of lose control, or they have an outburst, an emotional outburst, in the sense of how we would see in the Pentecostal churches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just asking, how do you see that?
Yeah, and I think that's excellent because I touched on neurotheology before, and in neurotheology, and as well as psychology of religion, we're
Okay.
able to actually. I'm going to mute you real quick because I hear some rattling. I don't know if that's you. Okay, there we go. When I went into psychology of religion and in neurotheology, we were talking about certain phenomenon in regards to the areas of brain activity that light up whenever there's some kind of engagement in a religious rite, ritual, or something along those lines, right? So one thing that's interesting is there's been empirical observation and data gathered from there of Pentecostal churches in action. There's no peer-reviewed medical or scientific journals or articles or works that I know of that has been written actually analyzing it from, looking for a brainwave activity perspective. But one thing we see is that there's a phenomenon that overwhelms people when they get to this high degree of emotion based on a religious experience, right? And what they try to do to justify that is use scriptures to say, oh, this is what I'm experiencing right now. So that slain in the spirit nonsense that you find in churches, there's no scriptures for that, okay? That's number one. Number two, these outbursts of some kind of spiritual spirit coming over you or whatever, there's no way that they can validate that and link that back to these examples in the text, because this is something very specific, right? A very specific event, and this very specific event is contained based on that event. When you seen the, in the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament, where you see Cephas and all of them started to speak in an unknown tongue, or whatever the case may be, something that's alien to their indigenous dialect or indigenous language, in a way where everybody understood what they were saying. That was something particular. They spoke one way and everybody understood what they were saying, right? They were able to hear and understand what they were saying, noticing that these guys are indigenous for this area, right? Those people had came during Shavuot, which is like about 40 to 49 days after, you have your unleavened bread. And these are the people returning back with the same ones that was, ushering for Yeshua to be martyred, right? To be killed. And then people will use that to say, hey, this is what's happening to me right now. So there are different ways to deal with that, right? There's a doctrine called cessationism, right? Cessationism is a doctrine which teaches that those abilities are no longer necessary now because they were utilized so that way the text, the way that we have it today, can be formulated to teach us the things that we need to know. And those certain acts that we see were there so that certain things can take place, so the groundwork could be laid, so then we can come and pick it up afterwards and continue on whatever assignment that we're given, right? So the fact that we have this phenomenon that is in Pentecostal churches a lot more often. I went back and I actually touched on this before when I talked about Charles Parham, and he was one of the individuals that was responsible for getting Seymour, which was a one-eyed preacher, in the Azusa Street revival in 1908, when he had to separate from Charles Parham later on because of racism in the church, right? And then they had the Azusa Street revival, which is really your first real outburst of this latter day pouring out of the Spirit, where people are praying steadfastly and wailing and so forth for the Spirit. When you look at this, in this particular situation, you don't see any of these other things occurring when it says the Spirit came upon them. When the Spirit came upon them, they're not moving uncontrollably and they're not shouting and running. That's not what's documented here. When people use Acts chapter 2, when they were speaking, he was speaking a word of edification to get the people to turn from a particular path that they were on. There was no convulsions and slaying in the Spirit and all that nonsense. And then you have people that say, oh, I'm a prophet, and saying they prophesizing over your life. It's always easy to get these prophets, these so-called prophets, right? When they're like, oh, I'm a Nabi or Nabi. I say, you are? I say, wow, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Can you tell me something? They give you some. And again, this is, I learned this when I was talking to a brother that was, what was he? He wasn't a bishop. I forgot what his role was. But he was like in the holiness Pentecostal area. He was well known. He might have been a prophet if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so he had came out of that, right? And he was an atheist. And he told me, he said, look, I'm gonna tell you, this is a game, right? You are trained on how to do this thing as far as the spirit is concerned. Like they train you how to prophesize, how to get details about people and then speak on it and elaborate on it. Like he said, this is a game that they run on people, and he broke everything down to me. I had a whole I wish I could find out brother again. This was a long time ago. I think this was like maybe 10 years ago. And the brother told me he broke everything down to me. And at that time I was a Christian. I was like, well, I've never heard that before. I thought this was genuine. And I realized it was a game. So there's nothing that you see in the Pentecostal realm that can be validated by the text. Okay. Now, do I believe that the Most High's Ruach can come upon people today to prophesy? Yes, I believe that that's possible. But the likelihood of that happening and the frequency of that happening, I believe, is very slim. Is extremely slim. Like something really serious has to be being established for that to happen. But you got to understand, Pneuma or Ruach just simply means breath. It's wind. It's something that is coming in you to give you life. And then it's used metaphorically to represent how the Most High can move through you in order to bring some kind of inspiration or something forth that comes strictly from the basis of the culture. And when people don't understand the culture, then they get disconnected from really what a Nabi is. I tell you all the time, the purpose of the prophets being raised up is because there was checks and balances that was thrown off. Your executive branch, which is your officers that are in your towns. Then you have your judges from your judicial branch, right? That are supposed to be in your towns, your officers and your judges. And then you have your top executive, your chief executive officer, which would be your king. And then you have your priests, which deal with the legislative. When all of these things are thrown off, a prophet has to be raised up because he's the only one that's given authority that can actually confront these individuals. So when this Ruach comes upon people, we see it in the Old Testament, so-called Old Testament, where it comes upon them and now they're given a gift so they can construct things for the temple, or it comes upon them and now they're speaking a word and so forth. I need to do a separate message on that. But all I'm simply saying is what we see culturally being done in the text has nothing to do with what we're seeing in these churches. Absolutely nothing. That is absolutely alien what they're doing. And what they're doing, again, if you don't understand the Azusa Street revival and everything that was going on around that, and the cultural appropriation from indigenous African practices that have intertwined with Christianity that actually gave birth to the phenomenon that we're seeing today. It's a whole nother subject matter, but it's much deeper than what we see. It's much deeper than the surface. It's more than meets the eye. And I will revisit that in a separate lecture or session and deal with that. That's an excellent question. And I'll definitely follow with that some other time. Hopefully that gives you some breadcrumbs to lead you up the mountain. You can get there. But if you want sources on this, email me and I'll throw them your way so you can do some independent study. Okay.
I'll do that.
All right. Appreciate that. All right. I'm going to drop you real quick and bring on my two other guests. Jordan, I seen you put your hand up, but I got to get through these other guests real quick. Okay, my brother. All right. So, Ivry, you are on. The floor is yours.
If you want, you can allow Jordan to say what he has to say, and I can go last. I'm fine with going last.
Okay, this is Brother Shema, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, go ahead, my brother Jordan. Make it quick. Now, I don't want to cut you, but I'm saying make it quick because I want to let the other two guests speak and close out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just wanted a quick comment on the last brother who was talking about the Holy Spirit. I wrote my points down, organized now. Because the Bible as a compilation, it limits the narrative and it limits a lot of evidence that's supposed to be there. It creates an opportunity for this type of stuff to seem legit, like the passes and the talking and all that crap. The same, like fruits of the Spirit in the Bible, a modern modern way of expressing that idea would be like a modern analogy that I'm going to use is like a symptom of a disease. The fruits of the Spirit is the expression of when you are in possession of this spiritual aid. When you see things that say self-control, right? Kindness, these are high energy expressions. These are it's hard to be that way all the time. Most of us just want to flip the hell out and yell at people because it's easy to be like that, because it takes a lot of energy to be good all the time. And a lot of times when you have the spirit, it makes it easier to be good all the time. So that's demonstrating behavior. And this is a way for a person that doesn't have that spirit to notice that you are in possession of something that makes it easier for you to be the way they would like to be. And they see how you do it smoothly like that. Right. And then you take it a step further and you have more of that spirit. Now you have Solomon powers. You have even more of that spirit. Now you're turning water into wine, walking on the water, and you're doing things that defy the ability of everything else, because you have more of this energy, but it can only be given to you. You can't force it out of existence. It can only be given to you from where it comes from. And God is only going to give it to you based on what you're doing with the virtue you currently have. Because he's not going to empower wickedness. He's only going to give it to good. Also, to comment more, that the limited narrative of the Bible creates so much opportunity. Like it creates so much opportunity for the Greek culture to overlap on biblical culture and for other cultures to speak on behalf of our culture. I think about Deuteronomy. Oh, the curse is like, the word curse is such a staggering word. I tell you, that word should have been replaced with disempowerment, because a curse is, it's like when we talk about the spirit. Like when you're blessed, you're just given more power. That's all it is. And when you're cursed, the power is taken from you. It's like money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do something bad, I'm gonna take your money. You do something good, I'm gonna give you money. If we're looking at money as the thing that can bless or curse somebody.
Right.
Also, and the last one too is getting into politics is so much of our duty, and influencing popular information. The reason why that's so important is because I love studying deception, because I feel like I think about who I was back then, and I think about who Edom and the other nations, what they have to do. Like, they got the short end of the stick. Just like when you think about Esau and Jacob, how Jacob.
Oh, Jordans, you cut out, my brother.
It's when I said how Jacob went about getting that blessing, even though it was told to him before, how he went to go about it stealthily like that. He had no other choice. There was no other choice for him to do it with that way. The only way he was able to do it is because his father didn't see him, and because Esau wasn't there. That's very stealthily. And this is the same means at which the wicked have to behave this way in order for them to do the things that they do. Why? Because they don't have enough power to solve the problem in the open.
Correct.
So they have to do things in a very craftily way with the issue, with the power that they have. And also, the reason why getting into politics is so important is because the wicked get away a lot because you're not there. You're not participating. So if the only narrative is theirs, then what else are people what else are they gonna believe? It's like medicine, with the whole, like, certain type of medicine is more popular than others, and people just don't know. And it's like that's one technique of the wicked, is to flood you out, just to create more volume than you, so that everyone else doesn't hear you.
Facts.
It's no different in an argument when people get really loud just so they won't hear you, because this is how they must be. They understand you're right, and they must go about it in a certain way in order to create an opportunity for them to win. So I feel like getting into politics is so important, because oftentimes our stance is not organized. It's not backed by a lot of people thinking the same thing. And you know how the world is. If people see a whole bunch of people thinking the same thing, they'll no choice but to consider it, at least.
Facts.
So that was all my points.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Again, my brother Jordan, you on point, my brother. All right, we on the same wavelength. I love how you disseminate information and explain it and break it down. And again, I agree 100%. You know what I'm saying? And it's having this type of mindset when we look at the text and we're able to apply it practically. It makes things come to life, right? It breathes life into how we can actually apply these things if we take it in terms that equate to what was being conveyed at that audience during that time, and how those same terms should be transferred to colloquial speech that we use today. And then it makes more sense, right? It's not so dogmatic or religious. It just makes practical sense. And if it doesn't make enough practical sense, you will never yield the intended results. And that's what it is. It's results-driven culture. And if you're not yielding the results, it's because the way you're interpreting and applying it is wrong, right? So I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you so much. All right. Let me let Shama jump in. He's probably going to ask something crazy deep or whatever, but go ahead, Shama. Go ahead, Ivory.
Since I have a theory that I wanted to talk about, I'll let the next guy go and I'll go last. I kind of want to go last. I'm kind of getting the together too.
All right, no problem. All right, my brother Chris in the building. What's going on, man?
Hey, it's not much. No, go ahead. I want to hear this brother. Hey, look, North Carolina. Look, I want to hear my brother just now. I mean, basically, I'm just hearing everything. I just got home. I got settled off the highway, so I'm really just listening in, and I want to just add something, but I really want to pay attention because the brothers are bringing together a lot of valid points. So I'm just here to basically hear them out and see where our people are, because you and I had these conversations and we try to speak to like-minded individuals. It's about that. So when I hear people speak like this, I'm profound. I'm like, okay, let me hear this through. I love this. And Divine, you know I love this type of conversation. Look, when I hear something like this going on in Israel, especially in Israel, I love this. So I'm trying to hear this out, you know? So go ahead, brother. I mean, whoever was right there in line, I'm not sure who it was.
That's Shamar.
Yeah. Okay, Shamar. Yeah. All right. Shalom, my brother. How you doing?
Hello, Chris.
Oh, good. How about you, man?
All right, so hold on. I'm gonna put him in the back chat, and Jordan in the back chat. All right, so you got the floor, Shamar. We're gonna end off with you. So go ahead, my brother.
All right, I'm not gonna take too long because it's my birthday tomorrow, and I'm one of the church.
Birthday, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
No problem.
And so this doesn't have to. Unfortunately, this isn't about the discussion that y'all were just having. Is it cool if you can flip the screen to my screen?
Okay. I don't see you sharing your screen yet.
Oops, sorry, my bad.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so I have a theory, and basically my theory is that we could. I kind of feel like there's two ways we can kind of look when it comes to DNA and who we are as a people. And I have a second theory. If we're not direct descendants of Israel, I feel like we could be descendants of Mizraim, and that can still, whip us back into Israel because we know that they mixed with Israelites. So as you can see right here, this is my mom's mitochondrial DNA, and she is L1B118, and it originated in the Neolithic period in the Aegean region. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, so she's probably a Greek, she's not, what does that have to do with Mizraim, or what does that have to do with Israel? Well, my dad's Y-DNA, most Afro-Americans' Y-DNA is EM2, which is, of course, in the Egyptian Levantine region. And when I was studying my mom's DNA, my dad's DNA, I started thinking, okay, so my dad's DNA is around Egyptian region, and my mom is around the Aegean. And we know from the scriptures, of course, I'm going to skip. I already showed you and talked to you about my ancestry, my Palestinian, West Semitic, and North African, which kind of puts I'm kind of using my DNA as reference for all African Americans to a certain extent. And it kind of puts us in the Eastern Mediterranean region. And so we know from the scriptures that from Ham came Mizraim, and from Mizraim came the Philistines. And we know that the Philistines were in the Aegean region. That's how you have the Minoans. And all. And so I was assuming we could, like, my father's DNA could be Egyptian, my mom's DNA could be a Philistine, like a Philistine woman. And this will also prove that, the ancestors of Bantu and Niger Congo people didn't just go into sub-Saharan Africa and start mixing with pygmy women, and that's how you have us. Really, we could have brought our own women from the the Eastern Mediterranean region. And I was like, okay, so we could have Israelite connections, even if we are like Israelite and Hamitic connections, because they mix. And we know that from scriptures, people like Samson. Hold on, I'm ahead of myself. We also know from scriptures that Philistines were with Abraham, because that's how they founded Beersheba, as far back as Abraham's time period, which is interesting when I was studying that, Guerrero. And we know that Samson, here we go now. We know that Samson kind of had a thing for a Philistine girl. We know it kind of didn't end well, but I'm pretty sure Samson wasn't the only Israelite to kind of like Philistine women, because we know from the scriptures that the Israelites sort of just didn't get with their own women for some reason. And so here's where things get interesting. So I was looking at some autosomal DNA and things of that nature. Sorry, I'm making a little bit of noise. Okay. Get a chair. So I was looking at our autosomal DNA, and it turns out that we have 64% of our, like, I guess you can say autosomal DNA has a very strong connection to the Sardinian and the Basques, basically Mediterranean Sea region. And it says, and I can link you this too, by the way, because I'm kind of just rushing through it. But basically what it says is 64% from, and by the way, right here, if you see where my mouse is, this is Yoruba, and it's pointed towards Basque. I think I have a better image up ahead. But basically what it says is 64% from Sardinian / Basque to Yoruba. This is difficult to interpret, but there has been evidence in the past that Africans and West Eurasians share more ancestry than Africans and East Asians do. And skipping down, Basque / Sardinians / Basques are the only two Southwest Eurasian populations included, and any back migration to Africa must have originated in the southern parts of West Eurasia. And really, since the samples were only, hold on, these are some comments right here from that study. And so somebody said, does this mean, according to the analysis, that Yoruba are 64% European? And then someone below says, not necessarily European. Sardinians and Basques are probably the closest to the Eurasian element that may have contributed to back migration to Africa. And of course, these people in this study will never think of us being as Israel. But personally, we know that Israelites technically are Southwest Asians. If you go by the more
traditional,
traditional. And so this is another comment, and basically it says, I predict that as more genetic association. Sorry, I'm kind of slightly nervous. Studies are done. Haplogroup E will be revealed to be Eurasian, and I personally believe haplogroup E is Eurasian based on a lot of study I've been doing. And by the way, when I say Eurasian, I'm not saying white, because technically Dravidian Indians are Eurasian, and they're black skinned. And so I'm just going to scroll up a little bit here.
And this is excellent, by the way. What I would like you to do is put this in a PowerPoint, man. You got to do a PowerPoint presentation. I know you have it on Twitter, because I've seen it on Twitter as well, but you got to put this in a PowerPoint presentation so you can move through it sequentially and logically, and it'll be easier for you to disseminate, right? I'm catching it, but I just want to make sure the audience as well. So if you can work on that, I would love to let you just feature that on here, and you can just go through it piece by piece. But keep going, but I'm just saying, please consider that.
Oh yeah, I'll think about doing it this summer, since with the whole COVID-19 thing, I don't think I'm going to do summer classes in school, and I should have a lot of time. I'm thinking about even making a YouTube channel, but I want to talk to you about that, like behind the scenes, not here. But going back to this, so this is a map from, I don't know if you know the YouTube channel called Massaman. Well, this is one of his maps, and this is a breakdown of different ethnic groups and races, because he's really deep into that stuff. And so Southwest Eurasians can include Semitic peoples. And so that Sardinian ancestry that is in the Yoruba specifically, I believe it could represent Israelites, because here is Eupedia, Southwest Asian admixture, and it's pretty heavy concentrated in the Levantian and the Saudi Arabia region.
Correct. Now this is interesting because your genetic tracing will go on a line with Dirk Lange's work, right? Because he does it from a more anthropological perspective in regards to the Yoruba and them being migrants from the Levant. And what you're providing is an overlay of the genetic traces for a similar conclusion, right? Are you familiar with Dirk Lange's work?
Is he a German? I'm trying to.
Yeah, he's the one that wrote about the Yoruba being Israelites.
Yes, I do. If he's German, then yes.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I know him then. I have a few of his PDFs.
Yeah, he has a whole book. You know, he wrote a book on it too.
I do not have that. I do not have that.
But if you have the PDFs, then it's pretty much everything that's in the book. So
okay, good.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
Oh, okay. So here you see to your left is a Philistine.
Just so you know, you got 5 minutes left.
Okay, I'll make this quick. So here on the screen is a Philistine, and right here is Ramses III's father. Both, of course, dark-skinned, reddish brown skin tone. So easily could be represent our ancient ancestors. Because I know some people will be like, well, because I've gotten into a debate not too long ago on Twitter, and people are saying, well, you're just a descendant of Caucasoids that mix with pygmies. And I'm like, bro.
That's like super random. People who say stuff like that are not that studied, and they're regurgitating something they've heard. You know what I'm saying? They're not really the ones who are the primary researchers of that information. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. It's like, oh my, it's like, dude, anyways, I'm just gonna keep going. Right. So more proof for EM2 and L1B118 Mediterranean origins can be found in genetic diseases like
thalassemia.
I'm just gonna call it the Mediterranean gene because that's another way they call it. So that's found specifically in sub-Saharan Africa, which is interesting. And then it's kind of like gone in the Sahara, and then it's back in the Mediterranean regions. And yeah, I guess I just summed that up. It's Middle Eastern basically and Mediterranean, and we have it. How do we have it? Unless our ancestors came from that region, perhaps. And this is me going a little bit into some of that I found out that had Limba ancestry. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but I kind of wonder how many Afro-Americans have Limba ancestry and don't know it. I know that the actor who played Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman,
yeah,
he actually has Limba ancestry. So I was like, huh. And so here's another interesting thing about our DNA. M2 was actually found in ancient Arabia near the Levant. And I can also link you this too. Or you can just type in on your computer for everyone that's listening, E-M2 tree, Y-DNA tree. That should, and basically the first formation of EM-2 was in Saudi Arabia, 39,700 years ago. Now, of course, you know that I'm a young Earth creationist, so I don't agree with that time.
Yeah.
But I do agree that it was in Saudi Arabia, probably after the flood. But you know how I am about the timeline thing.
Correct. That's fine.
But I thought that's interesting for you, at least. I know you believe in the old Earth, and so hey, this can be evidence for you, because I'm starting to realize that it may not matter too much, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the chronology of the dates. The data is still consistent, right? As far as where things are found at and when they get traced back to the origin. But as far as like the length of time, that's what those things are actually differentiate between YECs and OECs. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been looking through Michael Heiser and some of his stuff, and it's like, okay. I'm still young Earth though.
Have you watched Hugh Ross's work?
I have not yet.
Look him up. He holds my position in regards to Earth creationists.
Yeah, I'd have to take a look at his work.
Actually, he debated Kent Hovind, which is really funny. It was funny. You can go and check that out. Just type it in, Hugh Ross versus Kent Hovind. They actually debated. It's funny.
Man, Kent Hovind, he's my man though. He's my boy when it comes to
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Watch that, because you'll see your position and my position. Because Hugh Ross represents my position well, right? And I would say YEC, Kent Hovind, he's been doing it for a long time representing. But you know, in regards to this element of genetics, which would be kind of distant from what they're actually presenting, but this right here, again, like I said, this is really good. A lot of the stuff I know, there's some things you pointed out that I'm new to. I'm like, wow, I didn't see that before. And I think it's great. You know what I'm saying? But let me just wrap this up. We can take this another time when we open up the panel, whatnot. What I want you to do, you said in the summer, as soon as you Dagger Squad, I'm aware of that. You're right. But that's something that when he does his presentation, he's gonna speak on it. But when you get that time in the summer to put all of this together, right, let me know, right, when you're ready, and I'm gonna let you present it, because I just love how you're breaking this down. You know what I'm saying? It's great, and we need more people to get vested into this subject matter, right? And I think when I let you present it, what I'll do is I'll open it up with a small presentation and then let you take it from there, right? So people can kind of gauge and see how genetics can play a role in helping to identify certain things. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, I appreciate that, Shaman. Let me go ahead and drop you real quick. You know, family, thank you all for tuning in. It's 1:40 a.m. We're gonna close right now before we get too ridiculously late and lengthy. Thank you for everybody who joined in. Shout out to Bat today in the building. J Lockhart 25, Big Main in the building. Do see the Black Carib. Yeah, I do the link in there, but yeah, I did get lost. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Gather of Nations, you know, Israelite Nations. You won the $25 gift card. So you know, you email me. I got your email, so I'll make sure that you get that promptly. And you know, for everybody else that tuned in, if I missed you, I apologize. Yerim Yahoo, Yehuda, Coco, Tawaki Taylor, Carla Sphere, Deroyahu Bendora, Lee Mass, Ken Lewis, and I think that's everybody that I'm able to gather. I think that's everybody. All right. Esteban, Hanash, and Saint Productions 1, and Mariella Williams. All right. So with that being said, family, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. My brother Rodney Frederick in the building as well. Tune into our next live stream where we will have another Amazon gift card for more than $25, and you'll have to guess it, and you can win another free gift card. Since we met our quota on Patreon, we're going to do another giveaway of $125. We're giving away on Patreon. So if you're part of Patreon, you'll automatically be eligible. If you're not part of Patreon and you want to get a cool 125, will be eligible to get a cool 125. Anybody can use it. Sign up for our Patreon. You can pledge as little as $10 and as much as $100. You know what I'm saying? It's all up to you. We don't tell you what to give. You give whatever you can give. And if you can't give, it's fine. You can always share the videos, share the information, make sure other people are adept and they're equipped when it comes to this walk, man. All right. So again, family, I love you. Thank you for watching. Peace and shalom.